Hi diddly ho friend loons, it's Rale, and today I'm joined by my lovely wife Foxy Kiwi.
It's me.
Foxy Kiwi.
I don't really need to say anything else. It's just me.
Yes, it is me, husband.
Yes, it is me, wife.
And we're continuing Fire Emblem today. Once more, with feeling.
I'm a little bit disappointed they have such excellent voice actors. Puts me out of a job. I'm gonna judge them by their clothing.
No, because I can't get a good outfit for the main character in this one.
Judging
Oh,
commences.
and we have a viewer in the form of Dragon. Oh boy.
Ayo.
Right, I have to remember exactly what I was doing.
I'm sorry, but I must vent to someone, Professor.
That's always the problem whenever you're streaming, is kind of remembering where you left off in the last week's stream.
She borrowed a book last week.
It's
and
worse in
returned it
this
with
game,
stains of
just because
unknown
this game has so
origin
many
on the
little
cover and
things.
several pages either
I think
folded
you
or
were
torn.
trying to have the
Just
shy
now,
person
she
make
dropped a
friends.
sandwich on the
It wasn't
floor,
going well.
picked it up and kept eating. When she saw my shock, she said simply, 3
I
seconds
remember
later,
something about being called a prey.
Oh god, I swear I remember that, but I don't remember who said it.
Oh, the woman who didn't speak the native language.
Ah, yes, calling the anxiety girl prey.
Yes. And that's kind of where you left off last time. I remember that.
She acts like prey.
I mean, no
I
blame. We're all kind of
believe I
squishy.
left this behind.
There it was. Okay. I knew there was a way to zoom out. It's just always remembering that it's
Professor,
just the
I
minus
feel
button.
I must speak to you about Caspar's eating habits. I've never seen the like of it. He inhales entire plates of food in mere seconds. If that is a polite way of calling him a goat, I'm inclined to agree.
Sounds unhealthy.
Ah.
Oh, what is with it with all of the goats lately?
I don't know. Goats.
It seems like everybody wishes to use goats as a platform for making lives terrible. Which, no blame. They can be terrible. But they also are quite cute.
Say,
Personally, I like goats. Only kind of kids that I approve of. What?
Oh, Lord. It's terrible. A little funny, but also terrible. And you just like going to the goat farm and you have 50 million of them chasing you down for pets and cuddles.
Indeed. I've got a lost item for someone who's built like an absolute unit.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay,
hey, I can't believe
we're
I
judging
got this.
clothing here.
Thanks for
Oh,
bringing it to
honey,
me.
haven't you ever heard of clothes that fit? I feel you on that problem. Buttons and large chests do not combine very well. But aw, honey.
How about... Because my volume's all the way maxed on the mic, I'm just trying to be quiet. Large man in a little shirt.
Showing off his pick so hard that it might hurt.
Alright, and I know the other two I need to find are somewhere this way.
Right.
That's the other reason Bernadette is so nice, is because she's always in the same spot, her room. Don't have to hunt around the academy for her.
I mean, the other ones require social interaction. We can't have that. We are repressed in this household.
That's just Claude. We don't care about Claude because we can't recruit him.
Goodness. I abhor those like Lord
Now
Renato,
that is running
who
through the
deliberately
90s.
shatter
Dear
the
Lord.
peace. Utterly disgraceful. You have a kind...
Oh, it seems like something Edelgard would own. Neat. I love it when the lost items just tell me who I need to give them to rather than being a clue game.
I'm studying here so I could be the best.
It is
pharaohs,
true, but at
just
the
like
same
Captain
time, it's
Gerald.
supposed to give you
Do you think
in-depth
I've got it in me to be a
analysis of their
top-tier mercenary,
personalities and
Professor?
characters. So,
Yeah.
at the same time, what is she
I'm going
doing
to work a lot
losing
harder
a
than all the
singular
fancy nobles
glove?
around here. I can tell you that.
I don't know. It's Edelgard. Maybe she challenged someone to a duel and didn't pick it back up.
Oh, that's mine.
That's fair.
Thanks so
that
much
is
for
fair.
finding it.
But that person that got challenged to the duel should have been the one to pick it up.
Maybe they said no because they were terrified for their life because Edelgard is terrifying.
Yeah, that's fair.
Impressive.
It's Catherine, sword guy. Oh, there's Edelgard.
Even within the Knights of Saros, Catherine is the strongest, by a large margin from what I've gathered. Why not seek her out as a sparring partner, Professor? How did you know this was mine? Thank you, my teacher.
Because it basically literally said it on the glove.
I mean, you normally get your belongings back whenever you put your name on them.
Alright,
I mean, that's a big thing in kindergarten, is to write your child's name on all of their belongings, so you can be like, hey, yo, child, return. Return the slab.
return the slab. Oh, hey, I figured out how to fast travel. Woo!
Just now?
Just now.
Really?
But no judgment. Had my fair share of not figuring out fast travel controls.
Oh god, the Skyrim incident.
The Skyrim incident.
Context. Kiwi got, what was it, like 40 hours into Skyrim before figuring out
No.
the Oh?
There's a 0 missing.
Yeah.
There's a 0 missing.
She got an
400
obnoxious
hours.
amount of hours.
Monastery grounds are far, and no, that's not because I'm getting lost. I'm a fully capable, mature person who never gets lost. What? Did someone lose?
I can claim to be a capable, mature person. Doesn't make me such. Who knows? Do I still get lost? Oh lord.
I'm an adult.
Well,
I get lost on my own gas money.
here's the store.
I think that's the only difference, is who pays for the gas in the end of the day.
Me.
A moment, please.
I have to give someone back their book, but I have to figure out whose it is. To do Dimitri. It's not. I know it's neither of these two because it's someone who went to the Sorcery Academy.
So it has to be like a mage or something.
Yeah. Okay, that was just XP. Maybe one of these
I've
two.
heard whispers about Lord Renato. They say he's a very kind and gentle lord. Why would such a kind man suddenly raise an army? Oh, Professor, you were working late last night, weren't you? You shouldn't overdo it. A ghost might rise up from the well to get you if you stay up too late. Or so I'm told.
Maybe.
Did you find this?
Nope. Maybe this
To
one.
be
I think.
honest, I felt a bit lost here at the monastery.
Why are
Lost what
combat
to do.
skirts a thing?
Thankfully, a sweet young girl reached out and offered her help.
wire
I believe
combat
she said its little
skirts?
sister.
Yes. You have a fairly nice, I'm looking at her outfit, honey. Why the skirt?
Oh, that! I thought it was gone for good. How did you know it was mine?
What use has the skirt in this outfit? What use
They're
has
not.
a
I
skirt?
don't think they're really skirts. It's just a long coat. Or maybe it's a dress.
No, that's
Combat
a dress.
Yeah.
That
To
one's
be
a
fair,
dress.
these are more their school uniforms.
Well, one is wearing like a double
Yeah.
with a skirt. And the other, yeah, that's a dress.
Yeah.
Military style monastery fashion is a little bit odd.
Yeah. Well, it's an officer's school. Okay. Make sure we can't go any more fishing. Because fishing is important.
I just want to know why you're the only one dressed as the really stupid Otome character love interest.
Even with a why not?
Nope. Collect information about the. Oh, okay. That's what I actually needed to do. Let's go here. Ah. Yeah.
Good deal. Abyss, ancient sprawling remains deep below Garrick Mach. That's Abyss.
Pick the ones with long hair or weird hair, and she's got
Obviously,
both.
they all have their reasons and tales to tell. But only the most enterprising merchant would venture near
She
it.
has to have like a
My
wire or
advice,
something in that.
avoid
Look, it
going
moves
there
when she.
yourself.
What in the world?
Okay. Now we go back to Edelgard.
I knew I could count on you.
Require one bergamot, which is a tea ingredient. What do you need bergamot for?
I don't know. Oh wait, the tea ingredient. Actually, I might know. Items.
Tea time is oui time.
Okay. Nope. Sometimes it's probably.
Probably what?
Hmm. I know there's a use for it, but I can't remember it right now, and I can't find it. We will find out later. Alright. We're gonna fish with pond snail as bait first.
Pond snails? Alright. Would I recommend this in real life? No, please do not use pond snails as fishing bait. They make terrible fishing bait.
I mean, they are one of the lowest fishing baits, so it tracks. fish defeated.
I do have to admit that a white trout of that size, if you just caught it on a pond snail, people would be looking at askance at you. You would be getting like tourney invites.
We've been joined by someone. A storm
It is
song has
I.
arrived. Huzzah! Boop.
Hello, Storm.
Ew. Sorry about being a little bit late. It's been a bit of a week.
No, I get you.
It happens to the best of us.
Lots of people have been having a weird week this week.
Because it's a holiday that isn't really a holiday, but is considered kind of a holiday.
Right?
We don't get Easter holiday. We get, what is it? Workers' Appreciation Week
Ooh, this
holiday.
fish is a goldfish. Look at that health bar.
Oh. This reminds me of the rhythm game from Kingdom Hearts. You know the one.
I'm trying to
Flotsam
remember the one.
and jetsam, dearest poopsies, hasten to my side. Right
Oh.
now, mommy needs you. God, why do I remember that? I never even played that myself. I watched you play it.
Because it's a Disney song. It ingrains in your brain. It never leaves. It's always with you. And then your children and your children's children will bring it up.
We're children. We're children.
Might as well be.
So where we at here?
I am finishing up fishing before we move on with the game, and now I'm out of fishing supplies. So now, double check.
We're judged a large-breasted man for popping out of his shirt and not getting an appropriately sized clothing item.
Hey, Gordon.
Oh, right, right.
Yee.
Thank
Oh
you, Gordon.
shoot, he's right. It does say that someone's playing Halo Wars. Wrong
goodness.
tactics game. Right, we're gonna see if we can't go down to the abyss. Can we go down there without triggering the DLC?
Rale
there's the
plays Halo Emblem 3 Reaches.
Do it.
Okay, I will admit, you give me the gameplay and depth of plot of Halo, and then make dateable characters. Yeah, I'll probably play it.
Run your
Which
own.
member of Noble Six are you dating? Good news, you're a widow now.
I'm gonna run my own Spartan breeding.
Doesn't
program.
matter, they all died in the big blowout.
Hey, you.
Well, except for
You're off topic.
3,
Wait a
but
minute.
you know.
I guess.
Rocks
welcome to
fall.
Abyss.
Yep.
No.
No, Rale is not the game I'm looking up. It's Fire Emblem.
Unless you.
What was that
You
about
can
big
call me
chested
Yuri.
guys? Alright, so one of the characters in this is a big muscular guy that just wears a shirt that's not appropriate for his size, so he's bursting out of it.
He's an
Those
absolute
buttons
unit.
are like titanium buttons. They are latched on. They aren't going anywhere.
They're made out of wood.
Because they don't
the
have a choice.
specific thing I brought back to him was a wooden button.
Oh dear lord. That is like Yggdrasil wood. That wood is the wood that will go down in Ancestry.
Yes. Mighty wood. The mightiest, in fact.
Well, that and whatever his shirt is made out of must be way too precious because, dear lord.
Need something?
Don't do that to your clothing. Buy clothing that fits you.
This
Treat yourself better. Be nice to yourself.
This one? This one? See you again soon.
Maybe. Can't say I'm surprised about Lord
The
Renato
most
launching
important
a
question
rebellion.
is, can you pet the
The
dog?
writing was on the wall. If anything,
It's more surprising. Lord Lenato answers to Count
This
Rale
is an
of
important
Fargus,
question,
the man who
and has been the
adopted
cause of
I'm not in
numerous
contact with
theological
the Count
disputes,
anymore.
and
That's how I know
possibly
so
wars
much.
throughout time.
Gaspar territory smacks of war. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out. Can you take care of something for me?
The thing is,
What do
Hello,
you
Storm.
require?
Hello, Storm. Hello, Storm.
Now
Hello,
let
Storm.
me see. Ah, yes, this one's growth is going quite well. Fare thee well.
despite what my
Look
appearance
at you,
might
Mr.
suggest,
Popular.
I was actually born a noble.
Well,
No
Wolfgang
one
is
in
my
my
personal account, and I'm the one
generation
running the
has
Oxlandia account right now, so
The
there's
next
a bit of me.
generation proved to be flush
He's
with
talking to
pests.
himself.
My father and
I mean,
were
normally you
cast
want to get
aside.
that seat at scene 2. Anyway, the dog. Pet.
I don't know
You
if I
just-
can pet the dog, but where's the dog at?
Okay, look on the ground. You keep on going back. Now go back to where you were. Go down the stairs.
I see the dog now.
Yeah. Pet
I
the
can't
dog.
pet the dog, but I can give it chicken.
Yes, give the dog chicken.
I don't know, hun. You're the scientist. What else should I give the dog?
Don't give the dog onion. Don't really give it fruit. So if you don't really know what it is, don't do it. Just feed the dog chicken.
I'm out of chicken.
Don't doggos like fish?
Yes, no, it's okay for him, but the bones and fish, you gotta be careful on the breed and variety so that you have a completely boneless piece.
Mm-hmm.
Or a raw piece that you know is safe.
Okay.
Wait, turn around.
What?
I saw something over there, back where you were, past the dog, over to your left. What's up, that guy there? What outfit is that? Are those gladiators, or...? No, not them, the ones to the right. All the way around, all the way around.
With the pauldrons.
With the pauldrons and the loincloths.
And the loincloths?
Yeah, that's...
You gotta
Okay,
remember,
right-
you're a little bit lagged, so...
Right,
Okay.
right. Bare-legged.
Turn to your left. Keep on going. Those people.
Those guys. Oh, yeah, those guys are, that's a class I can unlock later. Chains.
I just... Bare skin? Now where we're going, we have the armor of belief and invisibility.
They...
We believe hard enough the chains on the bottom of that skirt will work. Maybe. Probably. We don't know.
Gordon is pleased with our feeding of the dog.
Well, we were fishing for compliments. No, you think Rale is bad? Taught this man everything I know. Just saying.
Professor, do you have... You would
Hey, Rale, do we
argue
have a
the
dad joke
point?
of the day?
Do you claim to have
Oh,
a view
goodness.
inside my mind? I warn you that I don't suffer fools. I'm doing strenuous mental exercises. My magical theories require rigorous fine-tuning. I shall never finish this task if I am not left to my own
how
devices.
magical theories.
Run along now.
I do have to say, that is pre-villainess. Look at those little tornado bangs. They believe if you water those hard, you know, fill them with some resentment and a lot of jealousy, you can get those things going.
As a note, Dad joke of the day. Try not to spell part backwards. It's a trap.
It's subtle enough to be clever. Dang, that has to be so overdone it hurts.
Ooh.
It's like a, what do you call a backwards bat? A good beer.
Wait. Oh, just seals. Okay.
Backwards bat?
Yes. What is bat backwards?
Tab. Oh, okay.
Haha. A backwards bat. You want to take the letters themselves all the way backwards. Flip them upside down because they hang upside down. It's a really bad joke.
I figured the use of the Bergamo. Later on, you get access to tea parties.
Oh, honey bunny,
And that's
it's
what it's used
Bergamo.
You have been corrected.
Oh, for the chickpeas. Okay. Oh, she had a coughing fit and had to go. She'll be back soon. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Now I need to go back up because I have to... We jump, jump, hippity, hoppity, bippity, boppity, boo.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Burf.
Sorry, had to blow my nose there.
Okay, I'm pretty sure
all of you needed to hear it.
Let's go back down. Ooh, loading screens.
Is that a hip?
Hey, you, listen up. I've got something to report.
Dang, that guard is good at his job.
Lots of reports need to be
Wow.
Oh, have you explored Abyss yet? Some shiny treasures here. Much better than up top. Fact,
Like a bolt
treasure
from...
likes to be underground. You're one of those treasure snobs who thinks their treasure is better than everyone else's, are ya? Those types really get my goat.
Another goat. Okay, what is it with all these guards like goats?
Goats are nice.
I know, I just really get my goat.
Mercy, I beg
Why is
you.
the goat offended?
Costas never meant to attack the church. He was tricked. They don't understand that. They'll kill me. But you could let me go.
Ah, another piece of clothing I do not understand.
I've got a quiet life waiting for me back home.
What?
I'll never cause trouble again, I swear.
The cupped half-chest protector.
Oh. You mean the single-barreled slingshot?
That's terrible. Oh!
Oh, hello, Crystal.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, do we have a pistol in the chat?
Pistols in chat.
Huzzah.
Being
Hello.
a pistolaro.
Really? Haven't seen your face before. You're clearly not from around here. Oh, you're that new teacher everyone's
Pistol
been
is one of
yapping
our
about.
Oxian brethren.
And yet, you look younger than me. Weird. The name's Balthus. Formerly
I don't
of the
even know where to
Alliance.
start with this particular outfit.
I mean, all I can focus on is the fact that you can grate cheese on his abs.
No, no, that's not what got me. It's the
That's
accentuated hip thrust.
Who are you?
that's a very Las Vegas outfit, is how I'll put that.
You're that new professor,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
You just started teaching up on the surface.
Okay,
Even
this
here, people
is
have been talking
the
about
most
you.
standard outfit
Not
I've
that
ever
much
seen
better
for a
than
college campus right
I
now.
heard you were beautiful, but obviously that was an
It's
exaggeration.
sorority girl 101 outfit right there.
Someone's raising an army in the kingdom, I heard.
Ah, tres
Normally, I wouldn't
casas,
care about
the
this kind
casas
of
de
thing. But this
emblema
army's picking a
fuego.
fight with the church. So as far as I'm
El Tiger
concerned,
has hit us with
more power to
Spanish,
'em.
like the ancient Spanish, the kind they don't make anymore.
Fire Emblem 3 class houses.
Yeah.
Well done. Let's see. Pistol says, it always makes me wonder how the people in games like this are always better drawn than in the background. That is because we are trying to date, seduce, befriend these people, and they are more important than, you know.
It's that, oh god. It's that whole thing where you don't really focus on things in the background, so your thought process brings things you're paying attention to the front.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the gorilla experiment.
I can judge people by
It's a
these
strong
living
word.
quarters.
I'm just saying, they might have a good reason to rebel. Rhea and her lackeys like to pretend they're always in the right, but they're not. No one is.
Like,
Hey, pal. Haven't seen any suspicious types on the surface,
dear
have you?
lord.
Beefy, mean-looking folks. Beautiful. Guess those
I
lowlifes
just want
haven't
to know what's
tracked me
going
down
on
yet.
with this color
Bounty hunters
coordination.
are the worst, yeah?
Could
They
do
can't just let me be, so I have to
anything.
go through the trouble of roughing them up.
Not just anything, all the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Don't think there's anything else I can do down here.
I just feel like you're playing an old Diablo at this point. They're gonna be skeleton monsters later.
I actually don't know if this one has skeleton monsters. The anime Diablo game. This is not the anime Diablo game.
No. No.
That's Diablo 3.
Yeah. Specifically, you know, the unicorn level. Dear lord.
Wait, what? I've not played Diablo 3, so explain this to me.
There's 3 secret levels that you can accidentally break into. Or purposefully, once you know how to get into them. One of them is the secret cow level,
Of course.
where you are attacked by a whole bunch of sentient cows.
There's
One of
that
them
level.
is the treasure goblins lair,
Mm-hmm.
which is some really, really nice loot. And the last one is like this cupcakes and unicorns and really pretty pink things that you blow up into giant spurts of blood everywhere level.
Nice.
It's a lot. You feel like you're killing off a 2-year-old's My Little Pony collection.
No, that's so mean.
It's kind of mean, but at the same time, they're so brutally hard that you don't feel that bad because you're getting as owned as they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you got in the comments. I love questions like, you haven't seen anything sus lately, have you? Well, there was a purple dinosaur.
the Ponyville slasher level.
It really is.
And Tiger, this is not anime the game. That would be something like Xenoblade. This is Waifu Wars.
Yeah. Or Persona 5. Oh, that's not anime the game. That's Japanese high school plus real problems the game.
I thought anime the game was like Kingdom Hearts.
Of course, it depends on which anime you're into.
Professor.
I'm improved. Nothing.
Would you say that anime is more
I still have.
anything that is Japanese animation? Or do you think it has like specific dots you could hit to be an anime?
Anime is
So-
anything that follows some of the design choices that are common amongst Japanese animation, which is why things like Avatar: The Last Airbender can still technically fall into it, because it follows a lot of narrative tropes and it has a couple design cues taken from anime.
Which, that said, of course, anime is less of a genre and more of a medium,
Yeah, medium art style.
or a sub-medium of animation.
So you would put it entirely in the style of art rather than anything else?
It's one of those I calls it like I sees it kind of things,
I'll get it next
where
time, too.
giving it a hard definition is a little bit difficult.
Mhm.
Because, like, much like heavy metal, and this is actually getting into, like, some art history stuff, the stuff that was considered, like, the first animes, nowadays doesn't contain many of the elements that we would be looking for in an anime. In the same way that a lot of metalheads nowadays don't even really consider the first metal bands truly to be heavy metal. But they're still, like, kind of revered as classical metal, or whatever you want to call it. But, you know, if you compare, say, a modern thrash metal band to Black Sabbath, then Black Sabbath sounds more like rock than metal. So it's like, it's one of those things that shifts with time.
Fair.
And perspective. But, like, yeah, and then there's, of course, the assumption of all anime is like X, but that's because that's the anime that makes it to the West.
Very true.
Whereas then you have stuff like Voices from a Distant Star or Graveyard of the Fireflies, which
Grave
are,
of the Fireflies, man.
yeah, which are
That's
like
hard.
kind of way outside of what do you call it? The normal, like, shonen, you know, teenage, typically male protagonist.
Ozzy's metal.
Yeah.
We'll allow it. Ozzy's dope.
Oh, Ozzy is metal. I'm just saying that if you talk to a, you know, a neophyte metalhead nowadays, somebody who's like 15, doesn't know the classics, and you try to show them Black Sabbath, they'll be confused by you calling it metal. It is
Of course
metal.
they were. Of course they will, because you can understand the lyrics. Not a metal. If you know what they're saying, you're not really doing it right.
Well, that's death metal. Like, if it's power metal, then you'll actually see a lot of similarities. But, of course, people think of death metal because they think of the most extreme version.
I mean,
Or they
and then
think
you
of...
have the third option. The third option that I've been hearing crop up lately is the young 20-something, sounds kind of prepubescent metal.
Yeah, it's like the
That's
late...
really cropping up.
Yeah, it's kind of akin to the hardcore movement or the post-core movement.
Yeah.
And,
Like
you know,
whenever
like
you have a...
Yeah, like original metalcore is stuff like As I Lay Dying or Kill Switch Engage. But then it sort of became part of the bland, sort of grand American metal, which is I can't even describe it.
The fact that
I'm an
America,
intellectual.
America of all countries, spread heavy metal music to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Flabbergasted me. In Korea.
There it is, the grappler class.
Yep.
I know I'd find it.
What in... Oh, honey.
Tonight you will be visited by 3 spirits.
You see, the weird arm capes take it from being Roman gladiator to uncomfortable fashion show.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the background screams out, you know, demons are invading sanctuary or some shit.
Yeah.
It's time to focus on battle.
Okay. Sugnid, baby metal, is dope.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm a
Metal
big
is
fan.
one of those things where it's very much about, like, what's the word I'm looking for? There is something about novelty in Metal. And so the more, like, novel your product, the more likely you are to get some staying power. Oh, it's Maze Hughes. Terrible day for rain.
Oh God, no! Why?
Take that.
Ed,
Just
word.
no, you put it back. You can put it back. And we will not think about it.
Yeah, so I actually saw My Neighbor Totoro for the first time last week.
Oh.
And
Cute
that was
little
good.
weird adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of anime, did you finish IBO yet?
No, because I'm watching it with my bros on anime night, and they made me promise to not watch ahead of them on animes.
Yeah.
That we're watching as a group.
Okay, so how's anime? Like how far are you?
They were just leaving for Earth on the next mission, and they had been attacked by the pirates, and then Discount Zex Marquise asked them to go fight the pirates, and then
It's like the Sun guys, right?
Yeah. So like I'm about 6 episodes into that. Although I was showing it to a friend who's in town shortly, and I noticed something that I wouldn't have noticed. The uniforms that you see their reservists wearing in the first episodes of Season 2 are the uniforms left over from Team 1, who are the guys they shot or drove off in Season 1.
That would track.
It's like all these little details that you catch the second time around, and you're like, holy crap! But yes, I am very much enjoying it.
Good.
It's definitely competing for one of my favorite animes ever.
Okay, so we need to do this in such a way
Stay focused.
my people don't have to worry about getting murder-fied.
I will prevail.
Looks like that's going to be our
I am
most solid
Ferdinand
setup.
von Eyre.
Yes, you are, Ferdy.
I will get the victory.
Because this one, we're going to try to make sure to level up our ranged units. Not our ranged units, our melee units also. Because they're still all in base class, which is a problem. Okay. Come at me, bros. See what happened.
Witness my power.
Ah yes, symbol fighting! Da-da-da-da.
Not what I wanted. And also not what I wanted. There we go.
But you know what you did want? These prices!
That was nothing.
Nice. Bad thing.
We have ourselves a chess game. That boy
Yeah,
has
pistol.
hunting daggers.
The battles in Fire Emblem are always what really draws me to it. Everything else is kind of just window dressing.
That's my cue.
Kind of literally in some cases.
But the window dressing helps you be like connected to your characters. Oh, Dorothea's also not yet up
Okay,
to
just say it as it is. It's made for the horny people that'll get interested in the gameplay afterwards.
Hey, you said it, not me.
I know what I'm talking about. gotta make the game look pretty. If it looks pretty, then you can get the weirdos in. And the weirdos are the ones that will be paying for it.
They'll wail for the microtransactions.
Oh lord.
Can't get ahead of myself.
My brain is just like trying to think of a version of Moby Dick now in which they're trying to hunt down a like really sweaty, rich gamer kid.
There was a meme, I believe, in the Aux earlier today that pointed out that, like, scale-wise, humans attacking Moby Dick is roughly the equivalent to a mouse trying to attack us. And so it has a mouse sitting on the edge, on the end of a chair, on the arm of the chair, yelling at a human, "From hell's heart I stab at thee."
For hate's sake, I spit my last breath at thee. And now I just want to go and watch Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan again.
Buried alive. Buried alive.
Not so fast.
Good job, Ferdy.
I'm building a prefab character for one of my players tonight, since he'll only be able to kind of come in and out. And I'm amused because the class is called Duskblade. It's a very colorfully illustrated class.
You're talking about 3.5, right?
Yeah, D&D 3.5.
Yeah.
And it has a spell called Stand. And I'm sure you know where my brain went.
Did you say stand?
Yes.
Oh yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference all the way.
Yes.
Okay, now, hopefully, Ferdy doesn't die.
Is Ferdy a boy or a girl?
He's a boy. Ferdinand. Ferdy for short.
Okay, that makes it a little bit better. I mean, it is Fire Emblem. They love their historically weirdly accurate European Saxo-England names.
Yes.
I mean, Reginald, come on.
Reginald Thibbledane Longbottom.
You don't get pets in this, do you?
No. The people are the pets.
That's fair.
My little students.
That are the same age and dateable,
Yeah.
morality.
But
as
they do
you are.
call me senpai.
They have no choice.
So the goal is... The whole
His
point
name-
of this game is for you to notice them.
No, Rale named the
The character I named him Senpai.
Oh god. That's so cursed, I forgot about that.
This is why me and Whacker should not be allowed to make decisions without supervision.
Like, at least run it through, spell check. Give it at least that much consideration.
Dorothea needs a level up.
See, Crystal says, was that a graduation cap on that guy?
Maybe? It's probably
Given
more
this
of like a
game-
mage thing.
Given this game, it might as well be.
I think it's, that's not what I want. This.
Me?
This guy? Yeah! It's probably like, I'm an academy mage, ooh.
It also could be, dress for the job you want. Which is apparently, according to him, to get the fuck out. Understandable.
Indeed. Now, is this a practice battle or a battle?
This is a battle. It's a side battle. It's a side quest. For some reason, these guys stole a student roster, and I've got to reobtain said roster.
To keep them from knowing, like, who all is at the academy?
Also because it's going to give me some kind of advantage. If I'm correct, it'll either give me...
You know your limits.
Ooh. It might unlock the ability for me to spend renown directly on people to gain friendship points, in which case this was absolutely 110% worth it. Otherwise it might just give me information on who likes what, which makes it easier to give proper gifts.
Wait, renown.
I could have been sleep.
I mean, how well you're known and whatnot. So you're literally spending street cred on them?
Yes. Remember, kids, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
How many gang signs is that worth? Wait, I need to know how many renown you are going to be spending on the socially anxious one.
I mean, I don't have to. Most of the use for spending renown on people is to get them to like you, so to increase how much their friendship points, which is easier to do with people who are already recruited because you can do it during battle. But for people you want to recruit, it's give them gifts or give them the right answers to stuff, or have tea or eat a meal with them, or put renown into them, which is a more direct and measurable way of gaining.
Spending celebrity points on making friends with children.
Well, how was that?
See,
Also,
PJ
actually,
says...
so
I must get stronger.
the axe lady is terrifying. She as shown here, she can already one-shot most everything on the field. She is the danger.
Fly into the danger zone.
Right makes might, right?
Wait, did he just say right makes might? What? Oh my god, I forgot how dumb he is.
And that's what happens whenever you put most of your points, if not all of your points, into strength and none into wisdom or intelligence.
Well, at least he's happy.
At least he's happy.
Did she crit, or is that just the ability? Okay, it's just the ability. Uses more charges of a weapon, or durability of the weapon, in exchange for, in that attack's case, having an extra range. Get blobbed.
You could have at least tried.
Oh, good.
I cast dark.
Perhaps I've been well.
I am the darkness.
I mean,
it's a young Severus Snape. You can't unsee it.
What, the main character?
Snape.
No, the character he just used.
Oh, Mr. My eyes make me look like a bad guy, but I'm probably not.
He's not, actually. He's generally very caring about everyone around him.
He just looks like he's sleep-deprived and maniacal.
He is probably very sleep-deprived.
Yeah.
Because he's basically Edelgard's right-hand man.
He's Ayazawa-sensei.
The maid.
Actually, yeah, no, Ayazawa is a solid comparison.
Yeah.
You go, Ferdinand.
This can't...
Oh god, that was... Well, at least he got strength. Not getting, like, one res for him would have been terrible. Alright, Okay, any of these particularly good? Wind will hit twice, and open up that knight to get smacked by someone else. Oh, and he crits. Never mind, it's dead.
I'd rather fight drowsiness.
Ooh!
I think I'm in love.
And yeah, she's got enough offense to take him out with just that. Except she didn't have enough uses of thunder, and I'm dumb. Alright. Gotta plot this out correctly so I don't accidentally lose someone. Hit him with an arrow. Oh, he's dead. Okay then. Her critical hit is just her having an anxiety attack and entering murder mode.
Whoa, did God get stronger?
Enjoy your Traveler game, Pistol.
That was fun to watch.
Okay, we'll send the sword lady out. Can you do... Oh, shit. Not enough. Okay. We have a problem. Oh, wait. Edelgard can get in range with the throwing axe. And this is why we give Edelgard the throwing axe.
Yay.
That is a knight in full plate, and she's just like, hand axe, yeet.
I mean, when in doubt, aerialize your movesets.
Yes.
Okay, we want to make sure that boss man there can't attack anybody. So...
No take backs.
Yeah, that should be fine. More specifically, that boss man can't attack anybody who can tank it, who can't tank him.
Goodness, your English.
His English is beginning to fail him.
Only a fool challenges me.
Right, anybody else who desperately needs a level up and hasn't already gone? Wait, is she... Oh god, no wonder she's so overpowered. She's already level 10. That explains a lot, actually. Okay, first of all, Banshee. Just 1 to 2. Oh, okay.
Okay, so sadly, Rale, I'm gonna have to hop off here as I have a friend's birthday party to go to.
Well, you gotta tell them I said happy birthday.
Will do. And you have a good one.
Yeah, have a beautiful time. Bye.
Toodaloo.
Main character powers activate.
It's me, Felicia.
You fought well.
Bullion. Stage complete. Oh, Edelgard is MVP. Surprise, surprise.
I mean, who would have ever have known that, you know, range and melee?
I mean, I think swords are the people who have the hardest time getting ranged because you have to get a special magical sword. But axe users get a hand axe, which is just throwing axe, and lances get a javelin, which is exactly what it says on the tin.
A really pokey stick.
A really pokey stick. Instruct manually. Okay, real quick, I remembered we need to adjust Caspar's learning because he needs to learn Fists and Faith so that I don't have to put him in the Grappler class forever. Instead, he can get War Monk, which is a better class, both for him and in general.
Is this where he just starts quoting scriptures out of nowhere and it just becomes this really zen dude?
Alright.
Does he want me to, like, be at one with the world and realize that nature is at peace regardless after death? but he does it with his fists, applied directly to wound.
Never. I am quite. I appreciate. I am beginning.
Wunderbar. That's the other reason when I'm training people, it also, as long as they get it great, they also get friendship points.
It's like how well they did reflects well on you as the quote-unquote commander.
Also just my ability to teach them.
Ah.
Okay. Begin the lecture.
Professor. Amazing, no?
These guys did perfect again, because they just keep doing so. And that's okay, because they'll get more writing skill. It's important for both of them.
My efforts were not in vain.
I've grasped it. How lovely.
Oh, lovely. She got Thoron and heal.
One step before the next step.
Okay, it's Edelgard's birthday. Yes, we're going to buy her flowers. Okay.
Your performance surpassed my expectations.
Okay, first and foremost, certifications. Oh, okay, Edelgard already has access to intermediate.
Hello, sir. 729.
Bow range +1. No specific class ability from armor.
Oh wow.
How do? Do we go for the armor and just get used to her being slower than everybody? Because she's going to be like that eventually anyways. She can't even use the normal Lord class, 'cause...
Man, if she trips and falls, she would make a dent in the ground.
Actually, yeah, because this will give her access to the heavy armor stuff, because she'll get armor experience from being an armor unit. So this is more valuable for our needs.
Contemplation, slight singing. Oh, all past. You have. Come on. Puts a finger up to her mouth like that. That is the ho ho ho.
Oh, and Dorothea can now get monk class.
I passed thanks to you, Professor.
Yes. Okay. Freddie and Linhart still need levels up a little bit more.
Hey, Birdie.
Important. Before I forget about it again.
Purchase a pokey.
Yes.
Sorry. I would like one range stick, sir. And whacker. Oh look, Waifu Sim 2023.
Indeed.
Well, I don't... This game came out, what, 2020?
Oh, God.
It
no,
was during...
before 2020. It was before the pandemic.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Okay. He does not need an X.
Whacker, I'm only here for a second. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping in, Whacker. We appreciate you. I hope you're having an excellent weekend.
Myrmidon is like a reference to dragons, isn't it?
No, I don't
The word
believe so.
myrm, M-Y-M spelling,
Yeah.
which is a reference to a subterranean dragon spirit.
Okay, actually, now that we've got these, and I've got plenty of money, so what the shields are is they're a little sub-weapon that everybody can equip, and actually I just realized I messed that up a little bit. Inventory. Weapons.
You mean it's your bash attack? It's your
It
melee.
increases defense slightly, but he's got Chalice at beginning, so he doesn't need it, so we can give it to...
the friendly ghost.
Ow! Also hilarious, but also ow.
Come on, that's the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, these increase defenses, so...
They're just like little arm shields, right?
Yeah, they're just little shields that people can equip. Who else? Petra definitely needs one. Okay, and we've actually got enough money I can probably buy them for everybody else. But first we're going to do support conversations before I forget about it. Oh, Whacker, the dad joke of the day. Try not to spell part backwards, it's a trap.
I'm not finished with you.
It was really funny the first time. But we're on like 4 or 5 for me. Kind of getting over it. A little bit.
What's going on, Hubert? You need something?
I watched you training earlier.
I roll, yeah.
Beautiful display.
Just a little bit. I mean, that's the
Excuse me?
point
What's
of
that
a
supposed to mean?
dad joke.
You yelled.
It's supposed to be
before
the weakest denominator of a joke,
How do I get fired up?
made
Is that a problem
just
for you?
particularly
You
to
scared?
make people grow.
Stupid habit. If you value your life, you'll break it.
What are you talking about?
Sounds like he's being an
Sounds like
asshole,
you
but
might
he's
have a
actually
problem
trying
with
to
me.
help.
As a matter of fact, I
Helping.
do. If it was only your own
Casper, I thought
idiotic
you were
life at
supposed to be
stake,
friendly.
I wouldn't bother saying anything. But it's not. Your foolishness hurts everyone.
Ooh, you sure do love to hear yourself talk.
And yeah, he does make a good
Suppose you were to
point.
shout on the battlefield
Teamwork
as
makes
you
the
did in
dream
your
work.
training today. It is very likely the enemy could anticipate your next move based on your insipid blather. And what if your
And wouldn't you
allies are
know it,
startled
there's
by
a
your
wall
outburst
going
and
on.
fumble with their weapons as a result? This is not to mention the obvious fact that you would utterly botch any covert operation.
You really think I'm that stupid? I only shout when it's completely necessary. I don't do it all the time.
Whatever habits you develop in training, you will reproduce on the battlefield. Combat is tense and frantic. You will default to your training whether you mean to or not.
Hey, why don't you just shut up about it? I can control myself.
As I said, he's actually relatively well-meaning. It's just, you know...
Phrasing, timing, combination of the two.
Indeed.
As I said,
Dorothea.
he's a pseudo Severus Snape.
So much brighter with you here.
I can't take that
30.
back. I must say, you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again. Why do you reserve such cold treatment for
Oh
me
yeah,
and me alone?
I remembered.
Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
What?
I underestimated you.
I assumed your noble upbringing
She-
remembered what? Perception.
She actually ran
Have you
into
got it right on your
Ferdy
first
when they
I
were
hate you.
kids, and
Huh,
she
I
remembers
was right.
him, but she doesn't remember her.
Might
He
I
doesn't
ask
remember
why you
her,
find me so
and she's
despicable?
still pissed
I
about
can
it.
scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking
Huh.
about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a
Imagine
person for
having that
no
level
reason.
of resentment. Only in a game like this.
If I remember correctly, like, there's a good reason, like, he was supposed to help her and essentially abandoned her on accident, but from her perspective it looks like he did it on purpose, just being a noble dick.
Very well.
Because remember,
I cannot
Dorothy is
walk away
originally a
from
commoner.
challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess.
She's from the
You're always
streets.
making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee. That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker? You came at just the right time, Edelgard.
And it wouldn't be waifu wars
that
without
so?
that sort of thing.
Yes, I have a story for you. It's about a pair of nobles living about 100 years after the founding of the Adrestian Empire. One was Derek von Eyre. People called him the warrior prime minister. He bravely led soldiers into battle and mowed down his enemies. And the other...
Was the emperor of the time. She wagered the throne in a duel against Derek and won. Why don't we do what our ancestors did and have a little duel ourselves? That's what you were going to say. But the answer is no.
You interrupted me! The warrior prime minister used a dramatic line to propose the duel, and you did not allow me to say it!
My apologies, Ferdinand.
Well, at any rate, you were correct in surmising that I was about to challenge.
Have a beautiful time,
You were
Whacker.
rather blunt in your refusal.
Ferdinand, control yourself. When will you tire of challenging me in pointless competitions?
I can quit now if you insist on it. I will not challenge you again.
You expect me to believe that?
Why do you look so surprised? Of course it is not a valid duel unless both parties are willing. Now that you have refused outright, I must come up with some other way of getting that which I seek.
I'm afraid to ask what you could possibly mean by that.
Ump
Only
her.
I'll find some other way of showing everyone that
Dear
I am
Lord.
superior to you. Huh. I will write a handbill listing your accomplishments, alongside my own more impressive accomplishments. Copyists will produce thousands of these pamphlets and distribute them far and wide.
He's
Then
making a
everyone will know
pro-con
about my-
list just to show off. In
This
comparison
has
to her.
stop. Perhaps I should have ended things with a duel after all.
I can't tell if he's trying to flirt and just failing irreparably.
No, he's just... He's very much wrapped up in the... his father's the prime minister, her father is the emperor. Yeah. There's a reason I keep sassing Ferdy.
Because he likes to bite off way more than he can chew. Like, oh boy.
She would splatter him across the field.
At least it would make a nice crunching sound.
You must try harder.
I am trying hard.
I like how we were told to behave by Whacker.
That's so.
I mean, it was a good attempt.
Let's see.
Swift reminder, if you're gonna pickle meat, don't grill it over an open flame.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking
No,
about
pretty
it.
good reason for that one. Pickled meats, you normally are brining for a really long time in a boiling solution, so you're using tougher kinds of meat. So just cook it as you're brining it.
I'm sorry. That just now. She dropped.
Bring monocles back.
The glory of progress.
Are they the superior form of eyewear? No. But I think it'd be funny.
Oh yeah, she requires the specific time period to move her along with being friend-aloons with her.
So you have to wait until a time skip or something?
Not a time skip, but a later chapter. Let's see. We're gonna go do the singing.
Hey, you.
Running and running and running. There we go. Open sesame.
Professor,
I mean, it's technically a
let me sing for
monastery.
you. Do you not like my voice?
Oh, dear
Would make
Lord.
a Pegasus dance with joy.
I'll keep my voice down.
That's
Don't want people
horse.
thinking I'm vying for attention. But how loud is too loud?
And you don't even get to hear it.
No.
That's kind of disappointing a little bit, actually. I wonder who it could be.
Marianne, the lady who could talk to animals.
That was a sarcastic comment. I mean, that top one for me.
Well, yeah, obviously. But you also have to tune the responses to things that they'll appreciate hearing.
No, thy own waifu enemy.
Nope, not quite. It was the other one. Okay. Oh. Wrong one. This one. Where's Ferdy at? Ah.
Goodness. You have a kind soul.
I bet this temple is really good at making enemies. There's just so many arches, my dude.
Maybe Petra.
The one that wears the wire through the ponytail.
No, Petra's not the one that wears the wire.
Oh, I thought it was the red one. Red-headed one.
Yeah, Petra's more auburn.
Ah. I was looking at one and you were reading another.
Teacher.
The lag does, unfortunately, throw some things off.
Indeed.
Hello, Professor. May I speak with you? You seem to hold Edelgard in high esteem. That is my impression, at least. She is
Look at this
certainly
jealous
talented. No doubt about
twit.
that. But I wonder, what is your opinion of me? I am quite talented too, am I not? Be honest. Do not hold back. Pretend that I am just a regular person, not this scion of a noble house.
My dad works for your dad.
We're
My
gonna
dad
punch him in the
fights
feels.
You think she is
yours
better than me?
is-
I was just being modest before.
Offense.
Honestly, I have always prided myself on being
Well,
superior
Freebirth
to
has joined
Edelgard.
us.
How do
But
Freebirth?
evidently, that is not your perspective. I suppose there is only one thing to do. I must demonstrate my excellence.
That's not necessary.
Nonsense! You have entirely underestimated my abilities. You think I could ignore such a slight
Don't
upon
even
my
let
honor?
this creep
Not like
try.
Come, Professor.
Yeah, I think more Ferdy's deal is that he's obsessed with proving himself to live up to his
We will
family
begin with
name,
battle.
and
skills in
Edelgard is
combat
kind
are
of a
no
target
match for
because
mine.
of her family's
I
relation
heard
to
that just
his.
the other day, she defeated
Which
a demonic
I can
beast
see
without
where he's
assistance.
coming from.
Well, anything Edelgard can do, I
But
can do better. And in half the time.
this is not
Professor,
how
you can be my eyewitness and timekeeper.
you do well by your family.
Here we
Please
go.
don't threaten your parents' bosses.
Two at once? That's... well, it will be fine. I can't do it. It seems you have saved my life. I... thank you, Professor. Professor!
And motivation is maxed out for Ferdy. Yay!
Hit it, Ferdy.
Some bait. Some seeds. That reminds me, we need to actually just walk around and look for glowy spots. Obtain all
Come
the
on,
items.
you can do two at once. Why can't you? Yeah.
Stats wise, she actually could. He probably would not survive the experience. But to be fair, she's already like level 10 and hits like a freight train. Most things don't get more than one chance to throw hands with her.
That is a whole pile of cats.
Gave me mithril.
Did he just say, I'm so happy? Oh, it looks happy. I'd hope so. Is that the only one out of the 4 you can feed?
No.
Then why aren't you feeding the others?
Okay, we'll do the gray one next.
I agree, Bully Snake. Every cat must be petted equally. Unless one's an asshole.
That one's full.
You pick up the assholes and baby them. They hate it. Yeah, it's just I like my body parts attached.
Oh god, my organs.
More, please no, not my earlobes. It's always the earlobes with cats. Dear Lord.
This cat's name is... Oh no, this is breed. It's a Havering cat. I always forget cats have breeds beyond, like, the Maine Coon versus normal cat.
We got
Welcome.
American short hair and American long hair. It's like 70% of American cats. Then you get into kind of
This
the
one?
fancy crap. The
Thank you.
Persians and Siamese and your
This
Egyptian breeds.
Thank you.
You get into the really crazy ones
one?
that have multiple syllables
Thank
and
you.
the only people that care about it is
This one?
pet breeders.
Thank you.
I mean, maybe vets,
one?
just so you know.
This one?
Like,
Thank you.
No, you make a fair point.
Please come again.
A lot of breeds of animals are susceptible to different kinds of diseases, depending on the breeds.
yeah. Alright. Running. Making sure there's no glowy bits around for me to pick up more items and gifts. And then we need to make sure to actually finish giving all the gifts that we've got. Eh. What the actual... Well, apparently we need to fish.
Yeah. I think that fish is making its presence known.
We've got one bait.
Well, cast a good line.
Not that one. This one. Obtain fish. A golden fish.
Inspirational. Hi there.
We will do some gardening. We got a miracle bean. Okay, yeah. Okay. Double check no glowy items in here.
Inspirational.
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
She
The
might
plants have been people. You have my thanks.
Okay, good. She did like it. Yay. Weapon maintenance and weight training.
Is this for me? It's so nice!
Ah. For me?
Okay. And last but not least, we gotta give everything to Icetia. We've been this way, so we're gonna go out this way. Actually, wait, I don't think I checked anything in the gazebo. Yep, and there's online stuff too. Oh, wait, no, not in a skin. Gazebo. There's items. Let me pick up the items. Lavender blend, Almiran pine needles, more cats. Leading an army takes management. Oh, Maze is back, this time with food. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Da, 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 da. we. Me likey bouncy. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's not anything down here either, but we're gonna double check. Actually, I can't remember. Items. Okay, it's just keys and seals. And I almost forgot to check what the Miracle Bean does. Increases luck by 1. Nice. Oh, no, not what I wanted. I wanted to actually use it. And you know what? Actually, no, we're gonna wait till later before we decide to start using the shoes, because those are rare. Hun, you're muted.
How goes the worst for Maze? I'm a little embarrassed.
Right now, there's not an actual war going on. At worst, right now, we've got someone who's trying to rebel against the church.
Blasphemy.
No, that's when you get explosives involved.
I mean, who's to say we won't? I believe in you. And the power of gunpowder.
Pope Mommy wants a holy war.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, she's actually not after a holy war. Her motivations are different. She doesn't really care about the war. She doesn't really care about people in general. She has but one goal. But I'm not going to tell you because that's a spoiler. And it's a big spoiler. We will have a war eventually. We have war at home.
Oh, God.
Okay, gifts. Give the owl feather.
For me? Yes, I'm actually very busy.
Damn it. Join me. I need to recruit you before school times end.
War at home is a stupid gimmick and you know it. Maze, do you not have siblings?
Called out.
I'm just saying.
Look, if you've never been suplexed into a bedpost, have you ever really hung out with your siblings?
We haven't at least had one screaming match.
There it is, now she's popping up.
I have 3 sisters, so I'm very familiar with that kind of thing. Same.
See, I have one brother who's younger than me and one sister who's older than me.
3 baby sisters. I
Honestly,
love them dearly, but dear
what do
Lord.
they all take me for?
Siblings,
fine.
but I watch Malcolm in the
Perfectly
Middle.
and completely
Malcolm in the
fine.
Middle has one of my
It's hardly
favorite
different from
edits of
daytime.
all time.
I'm not scared.
And it's when they have the super powerful firework, and all they do for showing the firework going off is they cut to the same shot but during the day and then cut back to the shot at night.
Is that you? Oh, well, good evening.
If it's lazy, but it works, it's not lazy.
Oh, I left something in the dining hall, so I'm on my way to fetch it. But you don't need to come with me or anything like that. I'm fine on my own, really.
Bully says, my brother and I had some pretty hardcore wrestling matches in the backyard, not always mutual.
You were?
Yeah!
Oh, apologies for making an assumption. The truth is, everyone I come across asks if I'd like some company. They all seem to think I'll be scared wandering alone at night. So rude and presumptuous, you know? I'm perfectly capable of being on my own. Hey, Professor, wait!
She looks like a fish with those eyes.
I thought
I
it might be
kinda
nice
see
to
it.
talk together to the dining hall, shall we?
It's
To
the
be
pupils,
abundantly
man.
clear,
The
this
pale
has nothing to
pupils
do
with the
my
double
non-existent fear of
rings.
ghosts.
That just stare like a dead fish.
Oh, you must be bored. Fantastic then. Do you mind, filling the void with some chatter? Some find silence to be a bit unsettling after all. Okay, I confess, I am scared of ghosts. The monastery is unnerving to me at night. So, can we talk about something, please? Anything. I've noticed for quite some time now, you treat all your students equally, don't you? You've never treated me differently simply because I'm younger than the others. And I've always appreciated that. Isn't it rather obvious? I'm roughly 2 to 3 years younger than the rest of the class. Have
It
you
has
just
given
not been
her a
paying close enough
complex.
attention to those you teach? That's poor form for a professor. Oh, there! I found what I was looking for. Well, I'd better be on my way now. Good night.
Personally, she's merely okay as a character. If it weren't for the fact that she's by far the strongest mage in the entire game, we wouldn't be bothering. But, she OP.
Ain't no power like firepower.
Quite literally. Now that we've gotten her up in a support level, let's see if she'll answer yes to being recruited now.
Hello. Here's the store. Listen, the monastery ground. And no, that's.
Oh, I can only ask her once per time. Okay, we'll have to wait till next month then.
Artillery magic, best magic.
Artillery magic is indeed the best magic. Remember, kids, if the sound of your artillery stops, you didn't bring enough artillery.
Hello.
I mean, it's in the name. It's art.
Begin lesson plan. Instruct the children. Okay, we've got 4. Oh, good. We've actually got 4 people we can train.
Hello, fellow teens.
I do not have enough
That might be
understanding.
me coming through Kiwi's mic. We are actually in the same room.
Stop being loud, right?
Never. Do we critique or console her?
For
failing. I think critique. I believe her personality is more she could use the critique. Yes!
I did not have success. Please, be guiding me.
Huzzah! Let's see. She's learning swords easy enough. We need her to learn more flying stuff. Okay.
Impressed you?
And horses. Oh, I actually should explain something. You see how some people have these little 3 stars off to the side? If I remember correctly, that's because they get a special skill when they've leveled up that skill enough to get all the 3 of those stars filled in. So we're gonna first level this. Yeah. Oh, Dex +4. He's fine with lances because he uses that as his primary weapon. Armor training. See, we got 1 star for him. Oh, and he did perfect. Good lad. Skill is now E+.
I am quite pleased.
The only time Ferdy gets praise. Dear Grid Square. Alright, you. More faith training.
Way better than... Nailed. Let's put this... I'll get it next. Nailed it. That
He actually got 2 perfects in one go. Alright. And now, we begin the lecture.
Professor.
No, you need riding skills for later. While Sniper will be great for you, Horse Archer is where it's at. Caspar would like to speak with me.
Hey, Professor, what's going on?
Do we tell him to be quiet, or we tell Caspar that there's a suspicious man?
I vote
Suspicious it is.
A suspicious man? Where? Oh, is that him?
That's just Tom. He just looks like that.
What do you think he's up to? Never mind that. Let's get him. Why not? We can figure out what he's up to after we capture him. My instincts tell me that he's up to no good, and my instincts are never wrong.
They're about to be very wrong, I bet.
Let's get him before he has a chance to strike.
Pete first, ask questions later. Indeed.
Huh? Huh! It leads to the plaza where the kids play. There's no way I'm letting this guy get anywhere near those kids.
Suplexes random stranger.
Caspar, why did you disobey your professor?
Well,
I am not seeking excuses from you. I asked because I want you to consider your actions and apologize for them. It just so happens that you were
constructive
correct in your
criticism.
assumption that this man was a villain. If that were not so, he would not have chosen to take his own life upon seeing you advancing toward him.
great.
Oh,
So I
wow,
was-
okay.
But because of your actions, that is all we know. There is no way for us to know who he was, what he was planning to do, or if he has allies lurking about. The only lead we have is a scorpion tattooed on his arm. If this indicates that he was a member of an underground organization, we have no way of dealing with it. Are you prepared to be held responsible if his group commits a serious crime? Oh, I couldn't possibly.
What are you talking about, Professor? We didn't do anything wrong. Those kids might have been in danger if we didn't act. I couldn't just stand by and let that happen.
Dang it, this is a case of so close. It's so far. Damn it.
Oh no, he has his motivation back. Now.
We did it.
Oh, just good this time. They didn't nail it. That's unusual for them.
I will master this. Not a total waste.
All right. You know what? Yeah.
Learn, you were saying, children.
The glory of progress.
I'm getting closer.
Oh.
How long will this take?
I'd never have learned this back in my... I'm a quick study.
And everybody got some motivation. It's mission time! It's time to move the plot forward.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't have blacksmith yet, so... Oh, we got another support unlocked. Oh no. Our first B rank.
Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives.
Oh, goodness.
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door.
Her nemesis.
Just listen to me.
Social interaction.
Don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay. I like truces.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did. I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine, actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself. It wasn't all your fault, you know.
What an all-or-nothing kid.
I hurt you.
I have
I'm sorry.
sprained myself.
Really, it is fine.
Therefore,
quickly.
I suck as a noble, question mark?
No, it's
I'm
because
not
he
so
made
sure.
her freak out. That's why he thinks he failed
I
as
do
a
like my
noble.
time alone.
Oh, jeez.
Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while.
Oh, I felt that on an emotional level.
If I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
It's more of a need.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again. Because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything. So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is.
So, the end.
The end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious. At least I got you to laugh.
What a socially aware little introvert.
Yes. The extrovert tried to adopt the introvert and ended up tripping and spraining his leg because he did not recognize that the introvert needed to be introverted. Also, Bully Snake? Of course there are terrible layouts for classrooms. It's a church first and a school second.
Yeah, we gotta have the reverb going on.
Actually, correction, it's a church first, a military base second, and a school third.
And it's more of a military-style academy, based on theistic beliefs.
Freebird,
It's,
that
you
is
know,
entirely dependent upon the school. Or the church, not the school. Oh yeah, I wanted to... make sure everybody actually has their shield equipped. Alright. On to glory.
Bloop.
Might help if I remember that I need to actually press the A button to get it to save. Mutiny in the Mist.
No matter how powerful our enemies may be, there's no need to worry so long as we're with Catherine, the mighty wielder of Thunderbrand.
You mean you don't know? My weapon is called Thunderbrand. It's one of the hero's relics. A long, long time ago, the goddess bestowed divine weapons upon 10 heroes, which were passed down to their descendants.
That is not what happened.
It's an honor to wield, but I'm afraid there won't be any chance for that today. Our mission is to help clean up the aftermath, not to fight.
One must wonder why Lord
That's
Lenato
more
would
of an,
incite
that
such a
is such an
reckless
anime
rebellion.
weapon. Oh, Lord.
It all goes back to the tragedy of Dusker.
Roughly 4 years ago, the King of Fargus was murdered by the people of Dusker. I believe that about sums it up, correct?
To put it simply, yes. But there's more to that story. They had accomplices within the kingdom as well. Lord Lenato's son, Kristoff, was one of them, and so he was handed over to the church for execution. King Lambert was attempting a major political reform. Needless to say, he had many enemies. Whatever the truth behind that incident may be, Lord Lenato has harbored resentment toward the church ever since. Well, to be more specific, his grudge isn't only against the church. It's also against the one who turned Kristoff over to them.
Report! The enemy is approaching. They can't be avoided. Their numbers are far greater than we predicted. They used the fog to slip past the Knight's perimeter.
It looks like our mission just changed, Professor. Everyone, prepare for battle!
Thank you very much. I am grateful. Thanks so much. I have gratitude.
Alright. Let's look at the map. Oh yeah, this is a fog map. Ooh. Okay, woods in the north, and then this area over here. And I'm pretty sure Boss Man is right there. Almost guaranteed. So... Selection's good. Yep. Fight.
With this fog, it's impossible to tell where the enemy might be, or how many of them there are. The enemy could be trying to surround us, but they shouldn't have enough soldiers to form a tight circle. Take down anyone who breaks through the fog, and let's push through!
That smell. It's fresh blood. It seems the battle has already started within the fog.
Proceed with caution. Wait for them to enter your field of view.
I will prevail.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
That's my cue.
Stay focused.
Put me in there.
Aye, aye.
As you wish.
Maze says you can't find your enemy. Flamen Worker will help with that very quickly.
I will get the victory.
Arguably, but
Lord Lonato doesn't deserve such sadness and anger. Now it's your turn to suffer.
oh boy, he coming to throw hands. See, he's got his little iron shield. Oh, good. Already hit level 5, so he can class up now. Or change class, really, but...
You think we're just gonna do nothing while you try to kill our lord?
Excuse me.
We'll help find friendlies too, or napalm. Naval works too. Bully snake, artillery time. They can't rebel if they're on fire.
See, combine the napalm and the artillery. White phosphorus artillery, even.
Don't do this, kids.
Burninate the countryside. And that's level 5 for Caspar too. Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, it's just more powerful wind magic.
Maze, I like how you think, Rale. Bully snake. Bully Pete is very effective, both physically and psychologically. Maze, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who sees the genius of setting everything on fire.
I mean, I like my enemies like I like my bacon. A fine crisp.
Freebird, that sounds like Zorgite propaganda.
Ain't Okay, it is propaganda if it's true, but it's the best kind of propaganda.
Enemy propaganda!
Is that all?
then there's a lady in Gundam. For Rebirth.
Okay, they had to attack from 3 spots away. Up. There's a mage. Can Anna spot someone from here? Nope. Best chance of spotting someone. Still no luck, dang. And there's the archer.
I won't let you anywhere near Lord Lonato.
This is a terrible plan.
Do it.
Mistakes were made. She's currently got the hand axe equipped, which is why things aren't just getting one shot. It does lower damage in exchange for that range. Remember what I said about being able to throw her at a whole section of the battlefield and she'll just plow through them? This is that in action. No, that's not the archers running into melee, that's spearmen and such.
Please don't die.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe Lord Lonato has the strength to carry on.
Shot.
You're weak.
Alright. How do we want to do this one? First, that'll do.
Thanks.
Oh, the fog is caused by magic. Cutscene.
dare strike Cassandra? It was your wretched zealotry that killed my son!
The only name I answer to is Catherine. Prepare to taste the blade of one who serves the goddess. Now you face a knight of Theros!
Dumb-looking sword.
Very much so.
The fog is cleared. There's nothing left to hide you or the filthy Central Church from the judgment of the goddess.
I mean, everybody's a bad guy depending on which side you're on.
Are we the baddies indeed?
It's a JRPG, of course we are. Compared to, you know, the
We
ones
both
you're killing.
are and aren't.
For Kindle Stars.
Maybe.
Say morality's on its back. Sure.
Thanks for helping.
Not quite what appreciate it.
Foreign church sending child soldiers to suppress a popular uprising in another kingdom. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to be specific which one.
That's not actually what's going on here. So what's going on here is that the church acts as an officers' academy for all three countries and is involved in the politics of all three countries. This is the lord of one of those countries forming an army to go after the church because he's still pissed about the death of his son. After his son was involved in a rebellion that killed the previous king of his country because the king was trying to do reforms that would actually help the country. Also note there are at least 2 children at the school who are horrifically traumatized by the things that happened during that particular war. Damn it, Catherine, stop stealing my XP. it's only 1 HP, but every little bit of XP counts.
Is this over yet?
A mini bow. She's gonna kill that guy down there. I almost guarantee it, so I'm not gonna even bother trying.
What a thrill!
It's time!
Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it applies a debuff.
Try to keep up!
Swish. Alright, who's gonna get the XP from murdering that dude? Petra needs some XP. Alright, next up is the Armor Knight. He has been glooped. Not quite enough to get there. Okay, confirmed. Wonderful. Oh yeah, he can't move this turn. Now these two will rush Edelgard, and if they use their battalion... Nope, they're not using battalion abilities, so they're just gonna die. I know it's dumb at this point to use Edelgard because she's so overleveled, but otherwise the NPCs are going to steal my XP. So if I have no choice but to send her forward to get the XP.
I mean, XP, man.
Yeah, as long as it's someone who's actually on my team. That's the important part.
We're 2 hours and 20 minutes in. You need bio break?
I was going to take a bio break after this map is over.
Okay.
I'm grateful.
To kill you, no other.
You have lost all sense of justice. You want to fight me? So be it. I'll send you to meet your goddess.
Oh, okay.
You have been deceived by that witch. I will show you the truth.
Yeah, don't mind her just immediately knocking off more than half of the boss's health.
I mean, if you got it, flaunt it.
Indeed. Yeah, she got a level up out of it.
Just like the guys like in the background.
You cannot damage him. So side note, Fire Emblem has a reoccurring mechanic of if you have friendly allies in a battle, if all of them survive, you usually get a bonus at the end. I don't know if this map does it, but it might, which is why we don't want the green beans to engage the boss.
Protect the squishies.
Indeed. He won't live through another turn, and if he's... Actually, he'll engage Edel. Oh no, he got healing. He will live by one... Oh, never mind, he's just gonna use that. So that was a battalion move, which you can't get a counterattack off on.
Oof.
And now she can't move next turn, but she doesn't need to.
I mean, she was trampled. Understandable.
So we'll feed a little bit of XP to the units who have the range to attack him without getting hit back.
Well done.
Yay!
It's simple.
Right, and This is perfect. Stand there, get the XP. And then we'll let him choose who's going to get the XP, who's going to get the boss XP.
Feel my son's
Or he's gonna keep doing that. But he missed.
I mean, when in doubt, send the cavalry.
Well, more easy XP for me. That'll do. We need Dorothea to level up because she gets the actual artillery magic.
Kristoff, forgive me.
Hey, Grandpa died. Grandpa, no!
I never thought I'd see Lonato meet this fate. Well done, everyone. Let's gather our troops and go.
Yay! Your allies did not suffer heavy losses, so you earned a reward from the Church of Saeros. A secret book, a goddess icon. Just those, okay. Okay, so this is going to let me pause. Okay, since it's not going to force me forward, it is bio break time. I will be right back.
So who's all on voice chat? It's not very hoppin' and it's a holiday weekend today. Fire dirt laser. Oh yeah. You got it. Flaunt it. Yeah, I'm assuming most people will be with family for Zombie Jesus Day. Yeah. Our holiday weekend is next weekend, so we kind of lucked out on that. We'll still be here, but we're going early next week. Or next Sunday. See the folks and whatnot.
Alright, I return. Edelgard's motivation is maxed out. Yay!
My, thank you so much.
Damn it was all so pointless. I've never seen so many people utterly heartbroken.
Forcing innocent citizens to risk their lives? That man was not a noble, but a monster.
What could have pushed Lord Lonato to this point?
Everyone was a bit shaken by the militia fighting alongside our enemies. If only everyone could face reality so unflinchingly. The commoners who allied themselves with Lord Lonato believed they were fighting for a just cause. It would be disrespectful to consider them simply victims when they died for what they believed in. Still, we have no choice but to eliminate those who cling to unreasonable ideas of justice. Even if our enemies are the gods themselves, we must never lose sight of our goal.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to throw hands with God.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. Really, I'm just like Lenato. I, too, will be the sort of ruler who's willing to risk the lives of my citizens in service of a higher cause. It's not possible to change the world without sacrifice. Dying for the greater good is not a death in vain.
Professor, I'm afraid this incident is far more serious than anticipated. I found this on Lord Lenato. It's a note that mentions a plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. We can't tell who sent it, so the source is suspect, but the content is too disturbing to ignore. We must
try to
report
murder
this
the
to Lady
Pope.
Rhea right away. I hope that it's nothing.
Pope in circumstance.
Knowing
I'm
what I
glad
do
to
about
see
the
that you
Pope,
have
good luck with
returned
that,
safely.
guys.
The goddess is gracious with her divine protection. But it was not only her divine protection that shielded you, was it? You are just as skilled as I had hoped.
My students deserve the
I'm not
praise,
so sure.
specifically Edelgard, but the rest of them were
I
good
heard
too.
some of the students
Well, we
were
know who's winning the waifu
hesitant
wars.
about fighting militia. However, we must punish any sinner who may inflict harm upon believers, even if those sinners are civilians. I pray the students learned a valuable lesson about the fate that awaits all who are foolish enough to point their blades towards the heavens.
Our
Nope,
real
she said
concern
that
is
right
what Catherine
after
reported.
Edelgard is like, I'm
The
a
secret
fight
message
God.
that was in Lord Lenato's possession. It contained a deplorable plot to target the Archbishop on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth. The plan seems unrealistic at best, but a threat is a threat. We must maintain constant vigilance.
Okay,
to that
Moody.
end, I would like for you and your students to help with security on the day of the ritual.
That is most reassuring. You have my gratitude.
The rite of rebirth is of paramount importance. It is when the Church of Seros and its believers unite to pray for the return of the goddess. The Archbishop and I will be confined to the Goddess Tower once the ritual begins. Of course, the knights will be on high alert as well, but there aren't enough of them to keep watch on every corner of the monastery. It is far from ideal to be forced to mobilize students, but the gravity of this situation requires that we all bend to avoid breaking.
While there is no need to fear for my safety, we cannot turn a blind eye to those who would blaspheme so heinously.
With any luck, this will all be for naught. Still, be on your guard.
Freebirth, I'm gonna ruin it for you. She did not write the letter. They are actually people who want the church dead. Some of them have better motivations than others, but...
Part 1. White Clouds. Blue Sea Moon. The Goddess's Rite of Rebirth. As the sun grows stronger and the nights grow ever shorter, the Blue Sea Star returns to the sky once more. Believed to be the goddess's home, her followers look to the star and commence celebrations of her rebirth. On the grounds of Garreg Mach Monastery, a grand ceremony is held in honor of this much-anticipated event. Every true follower of the Church of Seros is sure to be in attendance.
Ooh. And running, and running, and running, and running, and running. Wall. Ain't nothing gonna break in my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Whoa, I got to keep on moving. We get paid by the church. It's Caspar's birthday. We'll go ahead and give him. We've got money. You love the birthday flowers. Now we find out about what goes
Our
down
mission
this month.
is to patrol
More so.
and set up defenses to stop the assassination plot.
I wonder if an assassination attempt is truly the goal of our enemy.
Yes, I think so too. A barely concealed secret message trying to distract us from whatever's really going on. Sloppy, to say the least. And while everyone is out searching for a phantom assassin, they'll be free to accomplish their true goal with ease.
The monastery houses many valuable weapons. Perhaps that is their aim?
I hear the monastery has a treasure vault, too. Seems like the sort of place a foe would like some alone time in.
Garreg Mach is immense, and not just above ground, but below as well. Perhaps their aim lies beneath the monastery.
It seems to me that we should search the monastery for a clue as to what the enemy might be after. Of course, we must never underestimate the need for preparedness, in case a battle should ensue.
A secret meeting, Professor? Oh, we haven't been introduced. I am Shamir.
Shamir is one of the Knights of Saros, and this young man is...
I work for Lady Rhea, and I'm Shamir's apprentice. Oh, the name's Cyril. Yep, she's teaching me about the bow and the sword and all kinds of stuff. I've got to protect Lady Rhea, so that's why I've got to learn all I can from Shamir.
Cyril adores Rhea. That aside, if you need anything, ask.
Whoa. Here we can get... Oh no, I'm out of beginner seals. We need to go fix that. I should make sure we always have enough. We'll buy all 3 of these just in case. And all 3 of those for equipping later. Okay. Back to certifications. Now he's a soldier.
True noble never fails.
Caspar can pick up fighter.
Oh yeah!
Petra's already got her glass. She's already got her glass. Okay. Yee. And before I forget, oh, we got support conversations. Edelgard and Hubert.
Sometimes I wonder if your life could have taken you down a different path. If you had never met me and entered my service, you might have had a more peaceful...
A more tedious path. Inconsequential and spoiled rotten, like so many other nobles? Never. My duty to you is no mere obligation. I chose this. I had thought that would be obvious to you.
I understand you well, better than anyone. But when I see you at the monastery, studying with the others, it makes me wonder what kind of life you might have had without me. That's all.
Such a life may have had its appeal. I thought I'd left my years of carefree innocence behind me. But I cannot deny that I find myself enjoying my time at the monastery.
I feel the same way.
That enjoyment, however, is only thanks to you. Standing by your side is all that truly matters to me.
I see. Then I won't speak of such things again. If it's really what you want, I'll gladly keep you by my side. The path I must walk is soaked in blood. It's a path that can lead to madness, can snatch away one's future, and can even take one's life. And the pool of blood at my feet is growing larger. Those stains can never be washed clean.
Please leave the violence to me. A leader must be seen as pure, above the fray. Allow me to paint the path that lies before you red with the blood of your enemies. I will do it gladly.
That's not ominous at all.
Hello there, Edelgard. Are you looking for something?
You could say that. I'm looking for someone named Linhardt who's been skipping lectures again.
I see. Well, congratulations, you found him. Did you want him for something in particular?
What else could bring me here other than your complete negligence?
Well, perhaps you're interested in hearing my latest theories on the nature of crests. I suspect the formation of crests may be quite different than that recorded in church tradition.
Before you go on, is there any discernible benefit to me allowing this babble to continue?
Well, of course.
And that would be?
I suspect you'll find the topic rather entertaining.
That's it.
What more do you need? Crest research is its own reward.
You know, if you ever truly applied yourself, you could become a distinguished scholar. You could use your crest knowledge to benefit the world, or uncover new discoveries in magic theory.
Why would I busy myself with such tedious work? I perform this research for my own knowledge. I'm not interested in the world at large.
There's nothing wrong with a selfish drive for knowledge, but only if you put it to good use.
I'm sure there must be some use.
Oh? Then please, tell me what potential uses you have in mind.
Well, there are people out there who spend good money on bizarre artistic creations, so I'm sure my not at all useful research could be used as a fine lullaby for the children of the world.
A lullaby? I have things to do. Just know that this was my last warning.
Sure, of course. Goodbye.
Oh, Linhardt. You're a schmuck sometimes, but you're our schmuck.
Comes down to that is what zero socialization
Bernadetta,
looks like.
why are you following me?
It's also 0-1 for socialization.
Mm-hmm.
You were following me quite conspicuously, so why attempt to hide now?
Please don't hurt me!
Calm yourself. I have no reason to harm you.
Forgive me, I beg you! I'll go straight back to my room and you'll never see me again, I swear!
Bernadetta.
Yes, Lady Edelgard!
Please explain why you were following me and why you tried to hide.
Is Her Highness saying she will not condemn me?
Please, speak like the human that you are. I already said no harm will come to you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Permit me to explain. Lady Edelgard, you are fearless. I look up to you as an example to follow.
And that explains it. How?
I decided to watch you from a distance, to learn from you, but your presence is, intimidating. I got more and more scared until I finally couldn't help but try to hide. Forgive me, I threw myself upon your mercy.
Honestly. Look, nobody is truly fearless. Even I have things that I'm afraid of.
Oh boy, does she.
You do?
You seem oddly overjoyed at the thought.
No, of course not. But, what in the world could possibly frighten you?
The sea. I find the pitch black of the open sea at night quite frightening.
That is
I
entirely
can't swim,
justified fear.
So if the sea were to wash me away,
The ocean is a
fear I
hateful
would never
creature.
return.
The sea?
No good comes of it.
I may have seen it once.
We should burn it down.
Maybe. I didn't know you couldn't swim. That's a surprise.
Again, my shortcomings delight you. Everyone has fears as well as things they can't do. How many times must I tell you?
I really did make you angry.
Yay. and Caspar and Lindhart.
You're
Oh
looking
boy.
pretty tired, Linhart. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
Oh god, no.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father. I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
Ha! I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that's their relationship. My dad could beat up your dad.
Father. My father does have the height advantage, though.
Dear Lord, that makes 4 characters whose fathers
When
are.
two opponents are of similar strength,
I mean, they're noble kids.
It's pure math.
It's gonna happen.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength. There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself. Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
And off he goes.
They're all so strong I couldn't land a single blow.
So it's as I said then, isn't it? The tallest fighter has the advantage. And my father could beat yours in a fight.
That's just rough.
It's what it's really about. It's like, nah, you know, see, I'm just interested in whether or not the height advantage is a thing, but the real answer is, my father can beat up your dad.
However, could I know something? Still, the stone within the sword. A glow of red. Oh, it is nothing.
Doot. Mint leaves.
How's that? You spend too much time. If you're looking for something, try less aimless wandering. Do you even know who the enemy is? It's none of my business anyway. I'm just...
Oh yeah, there's a fighting tournament. Tournament arc. Oh, hasn't been unlocked yet.
Lord Lenato's rebellion may have been
You know,
quelled,
since this is all
but the
nobility and
unrest in
stuff,
Fargus isn't
do you
dying
think
down
they're
anytime
paying
soon.
for this tournament in
The
parental
Boar Prince
units?
should hurry up and claim the throne rather than letting old customs hold him back.
Let's see.
I know nothing about.
You're skilled.
We'll have to do a little side quest to unlock tournaments. But first... Oh, hey, the online stuff.
I bet the enemy is using this assassination nonsense just to sneak in and raid the pantry. What do you think, Professor?
Oh, I'm right, all right.
My animal instinct is telling me that the enemy is after our best meats.
Adamantium buttons.
Professor. People die in every battle, and it can be by sword or spear or magic, but depending on who it is that died, depending on who died, it's different. I hope nothing bad happens this.
That was ominous.
Perhaps our enemy's true target. What could it be? The monastery has been around for nearly a millennium. It's only logical that there are secrets here. We'd better investigate. Would you mind asking around and seeing what you can dig up? Once you've uncovered some leads, we'll regroup. I have a favor to ask.
The monks declined my offer of assistance. They said that no one from Dusker is to be trusted, especially given the circumstances. I cannot fault them.
I don't know who's to blame for all this commotion. With everyone stuck on guard duty, our study and train. Yes, I'm actually very.
Dang it. Not quite yet.
I don't know who's. It seems there were forces opposing the church, beyond Lord Lonato. I never thought such forces could exist in this world. I suppose that maybe.
There's been talk of an attempt on Rhea's life. We've been ordered to help the Knights patrol. Could that possibly mean that Rhea isn't beloved by everyone the world over?
All right.
I was thinking, have you heard of the War of the Eagle and Lion? It was the battle that won the kingdom its independence from the Empire. Even the Church of Saros had no choice but to recognize the courage of Lug, the King of Lions who emerged victorious. The church awarded him a crown and the right to govern the Fargus region, backing him in his bid to found the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. In return, Lug agreed to make the Church of Saros the religion of his territory, and permitted them to publicly proselytize across the kingdom. In the 400 years since, the church and the kingdom have continued to maintain very close relations.
Do you think Luke's friends called him Loogie when he was a kid?
I don't know. That's weak sauce. What's out of here, Luke?
Professor!
What's the matter? You're running all over creation. Ah, you don't believe Lady Rhea is the real target, do you? Even so, the Knights have their orders. We can't abandon our duty to guard Lady Rhea. The goddess's rite of rebirth is an important event for the Church of Saros. They say it's the day when the goddess will return to walk among us. Not too likely, if you ask me. Best if you keep that to yourself.
That's, something in the monastery that someone might go after? There's so much here, I couldn't possibly name just one. Even this here kitchen contains precious wares, wine bottles from centuries past and the like. I hear that stuff is fancy, but not very drinkable. I doubt anyone would go to the trouble of stealing it.
Have you heard? Rumor has it that Death himself has been appearing in Garreg Mach. They say he appears every night and kidnaps folks. I wonder what happens to them.
so sleepy. Too sleepy. I found an interesting book in the library. Got so caught up reading it, I forgot to sleep. Interesting discovery, though. The coffins of the 4 saints in the sanctum each have their crests carved into them. I'll need to find a way down there to get a look.
Okay. Hey, Professor. I hope you're well. As for me, I had a date with a splendid specimen of a knight. But now he's suddenly not in the mood to see me again. I blame all these rumors of a deathly figure showing up in town. Such an uproar must have, beyond reason, drawn his attention away from me.
No, Talon, this is not the new Pokemon.
Okay?
Well, I mean,
The goddess's
You
rite of rebirth
gotta
is the most.
recruit
Could it
'em
be
all.
that someone has spread these rumors of an assassination plot merely with the intention to hinder the celebration?
We are not the monsters
It
in
would seem
this.
that your reputation is on the rise. It's a shame I am not in your
it's
class.
like Pokemon Mystery Dungeons.
Indeed.
Maybe. It would be terrible if the greenhouse was targeted. The plants in here are incredibly
Waifumon.
valuable. This place contains the heart of Garrick Mock's 995-year history. So many beautiful
Well, I mean,
flowers,
there's like 800
plants
now
that
in
can
there.
save or end lives. They are all my precious
There are
children.
over 1,000 Pokemon. And some of them are in fact thirsty Pokemon.
Sandcastle does bother me.
Sandcastle is fucking terrifying.
Exactly.
Prune complete.
Not all Pokemon are waifu. Correct.
Indeed.
I don't know what you'd do with the pile of trash one. Not Mug, the garbage.
Garbodor.
Thank you.
I try.
Professor!
Oh god, I can step into these rooms. How many items have I missed that have been hiding in the rooms? Oh no.
Hi. If you're looking for something, I probably can't help you. I still don't know what's where around here. Hey, I get hungry sometimes. Like anyone else. What? Eating at night is bad for you? There's no way that's true. Wait, really?
Look, we're not going to talk about waifuizing Pokemon because I am stuck in the trap of before I found out about the memes associated with it, Gardevoir was one of my favorite Pokemon.
I mean, it still is.
Still is, very much. Now I have to defend that statement every time I bring it up.
Comes down to half of them are attack cats and the other half are attack pigeons.
What about the attack spider?
Oh, hear me out. Attack cats. Appreciate it. Kinda cute. Some are ugly as fuck. Most are cute. Right? Attack pigeons. They're all trash. But damn, they're effective.
Yay, Professor level up. More activity points, more monthly funds.
So it makes the fact that one of the games is based in New York really funny.
Okay.
Oh, the one of the Pokemon games, duh.
Aw. So you're leveling up by robbing your students. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean,
Look, they're nobles. They won't miss it.
it's called tuition.
Run around and do all the things.
How's that?
Hey there.
Cardio. Yeah, this is a Final Fantasy.
Hello.
So games.
Cardio is important. Pro tip, regardless of your age, do low impact cardio, do yoga, and shoot, what was the other one? Oh yeah, body weight exercises.
So, yeah.
Professor. In Bridget, assassinations are many. I have also been the targeted, back in the past. The Goddess Tower has an entrance of narrowness. That is most good. The windows are not the most good, though. A target of ease for snipers.
Professor!
Speaking of, can you imagine the Archbishop being murdered? I prefer not to consider such a gruesome scenario. That easy to get under your skin, is it? Yes, that is mine.
Oh, actually, I think that might be Dorothea's. I know where she is. Run!
Professor. I hope nothing.
I'm sorry, but
Nope. Okay. It's one of theirs. Someone else interested in tea. Let's check our roster.
So, yeah.
Professor, the Goddess Tower. This is not belong.
Her.
That reminds me. Did you know that on the last day of the rite, the monastery is open to the general public? It's kind of fun. It makes the place feel like a festival.
Oh, she talks like Starfire because
No
she doesn't
classes on a
understand the
festival day?
language properly.
I thought I'd get to spend
She's
all day relaxing
from
and thinking
another,
of some lovely ladies. But now this
effectively
mess is
another
happening.
continent.
Hey, Professor.
Another country.
I know there's talk of an assassination attempt.
Oh God, no,
But do
not the
you really
unwashed
think you'll do it on the
masses.
day of the rite of rebirth? I feel like security would be looser some other time. Is there some reason why it has to happen on that day?
Yep.
Professor.
Speaking of, but I don't recognize his name. I guess. Did you find it?
Okay, I'm pretty sure it belongs to someone of the Red Eagles.
Oh.
But I'm not sure who.
I figured they're gonna make it seem like they're going after something else, but then they're gonna go for her. Impressive, right? I'm telling you, my intuition's never wrong.
Shut the hell up, Casper. First of all,
Yeah, that's definitely mine. You really saved me with this. I owe you one, Professor.
okay, yeah, it does actually tell the difference between classes, so I know Someone in my class.
Hey, I got a favor to ask.
Yay. Tournament.
Professor?
Tournament talk!
Do you know what this room is? It is the church's treasure vault. I say treasure, but I do not mean silver and gold and jewels. It mostly contains weapons, artifacts, and the like. Anything that would cause too great a stir, should it be stolen? No. The church knows better than to store anything too valuable in such an accessible location.
I mean, it is an anime game. We've got to have a tournament arc.
Let's see. I hear you have fought alongside Catherine. I would wager that her power exceeded your expectations. Had you the chance to witness her relic? Thunderbrand, glowing red. That glow is a sure sign that her blood contains a crest that harmonizes with that hero's relic.
All this talk of assassination plots. It brings back dark memories I prefer to keep buried. I doubt there is any correlation, and yet... it is nothing. I am sorry for allowing my mind to wander. My focus should be solely on guarding the monastery right now.
Hey there.
Setting fire to the stables to distract everyone, to cause a commotion. It is the oldest trick in the book, but I cannot shake the thought that our enemies may attempt it. I will stand guard and watch over the stable, and the knight's horses. They are truly magnificent.
Hey, Dairydo. That horse back there in the background, do they get that fluffy IRL?
No. That.
Oh,
my
I was
darling,
looking
that
for
is
this.
an anime horse. Or rather, they don't get fluffy in that manner. Abba.
Please, do me a
If
favor.
they're gonna be fluffy, they're gonna be fluffy everywhere. They don't look like unicorns with rabbit ears.
I've heard talk of students wandering the monastery late at night. They wouldn't happen to be from your class, would they? Please keep your students in line, Professor. Kids these days.
Gosh darn kids these days walking around at night like they can't sleep. Is sleep too good for them? God dang noble kids think they're too good for sleep.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
The
goddess' rite of rebirth is this month, right? The
So this
monastery gates
gatekeeper
will be
is so
thrown wide
popular
open on
amongst the
that
fan
day.
base
I'll be working as a guide.
that he
I
is
hope I get to guide
actually
some
become a
lovely
unit
ladies
of his
around.
own in Fire Emblem Heroes, which is the gacha game.
It's just kind of cute,
Right?
It's like the tired Pokemon professor.
Deal. Hey, Professor. How's it going? Making lots of coin? I'd love to catch up, but I'm super busy right now. Working. For money. You understand. Thanks for finding this. Hey, how about a favor?
Oh.
Hi there.
Professor. Lady Rale lifts the spirits of all the people of Fodlan. We cannot allow her to come to any harm.
Hey!
been in town procuring some supplies for Flame? No. But do not concern yourself for my safety. I am very much stronger than I appear. I have something to ask of you.
Right. Hey there.
Professor.
Heya.
Let's see.
Well done. You have my thanks.
Huzzah.
That's so.
Yeah, we've already been in here.
Okay?
The goddess's rite of rebirth is the most significant ritual for the Church of Seros. Could it be that someone has spread these rumors of an assassination plot merely with the intention to hinder the celebration? I don't How kind of you.
I will have to repay you sometime.
Yay, we can now do tea parties.
And that is what the Persian Ball is for.
Indeed.
Okay? What?
Okay.
Well,
I don't know who's to.
I don't think it's in. Yeah.
For me?
Traveling outdoor coins.
It seems that. Yes, this is.
Oh, look, another owl feather. We shall continue our quest to recruit Lysithia.
For me?
Screw
Thank
it.
you.
It's not a great gift for her, but it'll do. Points is points is points. Yeah. Okay, now that we've got the quest for it, we're gonna go ahead and do that tournament. And I need to remember that the door is at the bottom of the stairs, not at the top of the stairs. That's where the spa is later on. Okay, we've got a beginner sword tournament. And I don't think I can enter myself. So we will send Petra and hope she can do it. I believe in you, Petra.
Witness frigid pride.
Yes, to make you nervous, children.
My heart is full of victory. Witness frigid pride.
Don't trust it. Let's hope I didn't screw up. I'm going to win only by virtue of the fact that I get to go. Oh, no, not even that. Even with full health, she couldn't quite do it. Dang. Such is life. We made some money. We got some XP.
I'm glad I asked you.
And we finished that quest. Nito Taquito.
What is a taquito?
You know, honestly, I don't know. I've just heard the saying, and the saying stuck in my brain.
Isn't that like a food?
Yes, it's some kind of food.
Speaking of,
Yes, a taquito. Like that, Talon. That's the correct spelling.
To Google, our most beloved research. Yes, it is
That
literally
reminds
labeled
people
food.
see. For
A
example,
small taco
there
like
are
crab.
squires who are training to become knights,
I see.
as well as
Yes.
full knights. Oh,
Tacos
then we have the
dorados,
holy
rolled
knights.
taco or fluata is a Mexican
Listen,
dish
the
that typically
goddess's
consists
home
of a
is in the
small rolled
sky.
up tortilla.
She lives
that
on a
contains
bright
filling
in the
including beef,
spring.
cheese, or
You
chicken.
can't see that
And
star.
then you
That's
deep
why
fry
we all celebrate the day when her star returns to the
Smother in
sky.
the sour cream and go
That's the day of the rite of rebirth. See? See? I've been studying. I know just about.
Okay, yeah, now I know what they are. I used to get the taquitos in a box that you microwaved.
Of course.
Okay.
I was just a poor boy from a poor family.
We spared you that life of that monstrosity.
Here's a thought with the whole
Hey!
that's right.
Really?
Well, about 20 or so years ago, there was a big fire in Garreg Mach. On that, it never occurred to me that he might actually have survived. The truly strange part is that in all those years, he hasn't changed a bit.
Oh, who's
Hello
joining
there.
us?
It is me.
It's a Chiranu.
Yeah, I'm bored and wanting to talk with people, so what we streaming today?
It's Fire Emblem.
I say,
I can't
Fun.
stop thinking about Lenato.
3 houses,
I'm
specifically.
sorry, Professor. I know this isn't the time, but I just can't get past it. Thank you.
No, nothing I have is for him.
Hello there.
And this isn't doable yet. I think maybe after this next mission. Play.
Professor, I am
I
afraid
can't
I
remember,
have
was
to
it you or
leave the child
Talion
where
who
my
works
brother
in the
was born.
government?
I work
Given
in the government.
circumstances, I
requested that he provide
So you might know the answer to my question then.
Silly of me, really.
What is your question?
The timing was improper.
How many people do I have to murder before it becomes a federal crime?
But more importantly,
I don't know
this
that.
course is
I
off
don't
limits,
work in law enforcement.
it is only open to the public on the day
okay.
of the goddess's right.
I don't think it's a matter so much of numbers of where, how, why, things like that.
On the day of the rite, the monastery will be open to the public, including the Holy Mausoleum. The Holy Mausoleum is where the tomb of the divine...
Well, hypothetically, if you stab a mailman, then it's a federal crime.
Yes.
Also, for legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Well, this is also purely a hypothetical. We do not plan on stabbing anybody.
Why in the world do you want to know?
In general, but as you'd expect, well, at least
I get these thoughts in my head.
They're intrusive, aren't they?
Intrusive
Yes.
thoughts are the worst.
Well, at least it's a bit of trivia that I have collected for no discernible reason.
Well, any crime is a federal crime if you do it in one state and then leave for another.
Possible.
And then commit the same crime. Or a similar crime.
I thought that would just count as a separate count of that particular crime on the other side of the border.
It goes from state jurisdiction to federal jurisdiction due to conflict reasons between states.
Give me a minute.
Because the law is supposedly impartial, and you're trying to uphold the law above all else. So you can't convict a person of the same crime in a different state if they've committed another crime in
You'd
another
best
state
keep your distance.
on the same level.
In
So
this
it goes to
nervous
federal.
state, I might just cut you down.
It's weird.
Anyway, where were we?
Might you have come looking for me because you were worried about my safety?
Waifu wars.
I am quite all
Yes, there's waifu wars. And then I am playing Warhammer Fantasy, but decent.
Yeah.
Instead of Warhammer Fantasy, but complicated.
Here's waifu wars.
Yes. It is waifu wars time.
Waifu man, does whatever your waifu can. I don't know how to finish the tune.
Lovely gift from most anybody. Okay. Which means it's going to Lysithia because I want that mage on my team. I need explosions. I require them in my soul.
A very interesting superpower. The ability to look at somebody, and you gain all of the powers of whatever person you've targeted, of their biggest fictional crush.
I'm not sure.
What would Miss Balalaika have?
Oh no.
I'm not even ashamed.
Well... Professor, hey, did you hear? A knight wielding a scythe is roaming around town at night. If he's a villain, I'd like to get the measure of him. Professor!
You should start just playing Running Through the 90s every single time you start that.
Beginner's Guide to Fishing, because apparently knowing how to fish better and garden better makes me a better teacher.
I mean, it makes you a more marriageable candidate.
There are numerous books in this library that you cannot find
We are
anywhere
talking about
else.
the nobility.
But once you are here, you can read them easily enough. I doubt someone would go to the trouble of stealing one. Sometimes Seteth will dispose of books that are deemed inappropriate for the monastery, but that's about it. In a way, I suppose that makes those particular volumes more valuable.
What's the difference between
right?
a femboy and a femman? How hard the buttons have to strain, apparently.
That
boy who
I'm not
assists
letting
the
that go.
Archbishop. I hear he's
He needs help.
originally from a foreign land to the east called Almyra. I
Well,
know he's
just
still
remember,
only a child,
they
but
have to be
I
both.
do wonder about
They
his
have to
true
be
intentions.
all three portions of kind, stupid, and buff to be a
Himbo.
to be a himbo. If they're only kind and stupid, they're just a great guy. If they're just stupid and bulky, they're kind of an asshole. And
They're a minion.
God, what was the other one? There's the three portions of the trigger. They have to be kind, stupid, and bulky.
Did you know that it's kind of...
Okay, what? Game?
Did you know that on the
Oh God.
last day of
What was the other combination?
Okay, so I can't give gifts to her for some
They're
reason
not
right
bulky.
now.
If they're stupid and kind but not bulky. That's the little brother character. And that's different.
Not what I need. Storehouse.
Best himbo description I've heard. Pure of heart, dumb of ass. Yes.
I think I'll have to wait till later to give more gifts, so for now... we go fishing.
Count Noculus. That just sounds so cheesy.
Kind, beefy, stupid, buff possum. I got a good possum story.
Oh
My
God, here
parents
comes...
live. My parents live in the middle of nowhere. Like 10 minutes from the nearest small town, kind of nowhere.
Oh God, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, it's where I grew up. It's alright. Beautiful location, just kind of really far away from everything. And my dad adopted this cat that is just, she was a mess whenever he adopted her. Took her off of a lady that was kind of abusing her. And she wound up losing both eyes and just terrible amount of money. Well, not terrible, but a large amount of money thrown into different kinds of operations just to make the cat feel good. Or, be able to bear it. So she's ugly. She's a little purr motor. Couldn't handle being inside very well. So he built her a little outdoor house where she could come in and out. Be an outdoor cat that she craved to be, but also be protected. And she's blind and had a big old hole in her head.
That's not
Found
good.
a possum.
Oh no.
She found this possum, and that was her possum. Like, you could not separate the two of it. Think just the roundest creature you've ever seen in your life. It just rolled to get up, had little feet on both sides, and just struggled to walk, sort of possum.
So the possum was alive.
Yeah.
It was just adopted by this blind old cat.
Yes, correct.
That is adorable.
I feel like this story needs to be told to Crow at some point.
Maybe so. That possum is just enormous, and Dad could not, for the life of him, get it to lose any weight. So once in a while, you just hear this big old purr motor, kind of rubbly, cut off, crappy meow, and it'd be the cat coming around the corner, and then you'd hear this whir sound, and it's the possum huffing up behind her.
This possum just got forcibly adopted and decided, fuck it, this is my life now.
Don't let her down, okay? I hope you're not just saying...
Thing is, my parents just got another cat.
I don't know.
It just walked it into the garage. Mind you, they're 25 minutes from the nearest town. This cat just walked into the garage. So, yeah, my parents just got a brand new cat.
You'd best.
Cute little thing.
Oh, this is...
We figure it was thrown out. They live off of a highway, so we figure somebody dumped the cats off the highway because it's happened before, where we find puppies or kittens and such
that is short.
next to the highway. Some people are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I will state this right now. If you're listening to this and you do that crap,
just don't
we
listen.
will find you,
Go
and
think.
we will stab
Yeah.
you.
No, the Kiwi's right. Go think about your life. And
Because
never talk
otherwise
to
we
me.
will... Yes, we will find you.
In fact, don't
No.
watch this stream again. I don't want the views of someone who will do that to animals.
Mm-hmm.
I never condone murder or violence against other people, even if they deserve it, because there are so many worse things that can be done.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, killing them just gives them an out.
Hey there.
Well, do we find them and then do uncomfortable things to them?
Yes.
Like reporting them, never letting them own pets ever again,
Mhm.
and then telling their family and their friends
What they
and
did.
then posting about it on social media loudly, and then taking out newspaper ads.
See, this is better than just stabbing them in the butt.
Yeah, no need for violence.
I'm sorry, but that's just my immediate visceral reaction.
It's understandable. People react in different reactionary ways. Yeah, I think Rale and I went on a date whenever we were really young that involved puppies. You remember that?
Yeah, we helped rescue a bunch of puppies that someone just left on the side of the road.
And we were out there for hours picking up those puppies. And we got them all. And that lady was charged like $700,000 for doing that.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that's a lot of puppies.
Big time money. Well, they were purebred little toy somethings. And so the price of each puppy was gargantuan, and then found out she was hoarding and abusing. Yeah. Big, huge mess.
What? I am grateful.
But fishing doesn't count on this question mark. Tee-hee.
Yep, it's tea time, and it is time to use the
Did you call
bergamot.
me?
Bergamot.
I am grateful.
Bergamot.
Like Kameha with a weird G in it.
Some sweets. Anything is fine. I see.
Just found it funny you're talking about animal abuse being bad, which it is, but then fishing game. Well, there is a lot of difference between humanely catching and consuming animal products. And taking
There is.
animals that... What?
There is ethical hunting and fishing.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a big-time fisher and hunter. But
You know what?
needlessly-
I would love to shoot the stuff. I can't skin it. It icks me out too much.
I grew up really, really dirt poor in rural areas.
I understand.
Put food on the table for a while.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's just I cannot physically do it. Blood and guts just
Yeah,
squick me out. However, if you are willing to process it, I will gladly split it with you however you want.
That tea was
But
delicious.
yes, if you're fishing, there are very easy, very quick, and humane ways to dispatch fish, food, everything. And it is much better to quickly dispatch and not let them be gasping in a bucket for any sort of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then storm afterwards. There's no reason to let a fish for a long summer.
So. Well, what's the matter? Even so, the goddess, they say, not to.
Oh, okay. Last one.
Alright. You know, I wonder what is the lowest level functionary you could grab and just remove from the government for whatever reason to completely shut down operations.
Let's not.
Yeah, no.
No?
We're gonna stay away from that.
Yeah, that's no.
Okay?
I'd rather eat
No?
You can pick a
Okay.
different one.
Let's pick a different question then. I'm sorry, I've got these.
It's okay.
Alright, that's all that done. Now all
Oh,
we've got left
oh.
is report to Edelgard.
Perhaps I knew I could count on you. There's a place that the church values above all others. On the day it will be open to the public. That will make it much
What's
easier.
next on the list of questions?
What is an appropriate color for the inside walls of a cat cafe?
That is a good question.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like the browns and greens for that.
For a cat cafe?
Yeah.
You're trying to be cute.
You
Brown
can be
is not
just
cute.
like earthy colors, earthy tones. You can do a comfortable bright brown. It's not a tan.
It's supposed to be
It's like
kawaii.
the color of good soil.
Precisely.
Kawaii.
We can't know
Pinks
for
and
certain,
yellows.
but it's a distinct possibility that the Holy Mausoleum is our enemy's target.
What the fuck is bright brown?
It's like a brown that isn't like drab.
I mean, like an intense brown or a.
Yeah,
what's the
like a
term?
brown that is thick.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it. You are going to wake up randomly in a fictional universe in about the same position you have now. Which universe would you like to randomly wake up in? So for Rale, it's where do you want to wake up as a random bureaucrat?
The answer is none. I'm happy with my life.
But what if you just wake up exactly where you are in a reality that is exactly as it was?
Nope, it's a different universe.
Wait. Can I be an alternate
No.
version of this universe where I got my college degree first and I'm just getting paid more?
No. We're talking alternate fictional settings.
I mean, that's fictional setting.
I mean, yeah, but also kind of feels lazy.
Have you met me?
I guess not at that level.
What is this effort you speak of? Okay, we are finally done with wandering around the school.
Oh, thank God.
Bronze wouldn't be the right color for Rebirth. It's more like an earthy color. Like soil that's not quite dry but not quite damp. It's just that nice color that looks comfortable. Like that brown you think of in your head.
And we didn't get Foxy's response on that one.
Vibrant. Yeah, a vibrant brown. There we go.
I knew it began with a V. It was driving me nuts.
Okay.
Like,
We're gonna...
it makes me very uncomfortable thinking about that sort of thing. I apologize.
Just waking up in another place in about the same position.
Yes, I have worked very hard to get where I am.
Yeah.
Alright.
I like my life. My life is fairly comfortable. I have put a lot of effort into making this life comfortable. I would not want to lose it.
I would not want to go through therapy again. Let's not.
Oh, thank you.
I understand. So hypothetically, Star Trek therapy might be better than the therapy we have now, but I understand not wanting to go through it again.
But I don't care.
I still have.
That. Plus, you lose your genuine friendships and bonds in your family.
Making
and I
those
have-
all over again would be weird.
Yes.
Nothing.
I can see why that question would be alluring for some, but I'm quite happy so.
No, I totally get it.
If you could domesticate any one animal fully and have them be safe for companionship, what animal would it be?
Beavers. We've had this conversation before. You knew what my answer was gonna be.
It's because of that beaver game you played.
Only partially.
Only partially. It's because of the beaver game. Don't lie to me. Cougars?
You have great.
Really?
I mean, that is just a bigger cat. You would get more expensive feed problems, though.
I mean, if we were gonna go larger version of a animal we already have domesticated, bears is a larger version of dogs.
Here, Lord above. Y'all are violent.
No, I just want to snuggle a bear. Can you imagine?
They are already giant house cats. Problem is, well, no. I adore giant breed dogs, so I really can't say anything about that.
Yeah, no. It's
Okay.
like a giant fluffy dog you can just
Okay.
lie on top of. I didn't actually
Kinda
see whose
want to say
birthday this
squirrels,
is.
because I have been
Tea
finding
Party.
them adorable. And that
That's
would
well,
seem like a reasonable house pet if they weren't, like,
Murderous?
What's the latest, pal?
hyperactive all of the time, because they would keep that in their domestication. They would just lose their tendency to eat and destroy everything.
Of course. What do you know? Really? Of course. Huh. Not a bad way to stay alert. I don't get much sleep, you see.
Okay. Now, if you and your significant other were to jointly decide to move to another universe, where would you want to go? That way you keep at least one connection.
Delicious. Hey, think I can drink the next cup in
Stardew
one
Valley.
go?
You think, hon?
That would be dope, actually.
Yeah.
I can agree with Stardew Valley. Be cute.
Mm-hmm. Participate in the hymn.
Yeah! I'll sing so loud that my voice is gonna reach the sky!
No, Casper.
Who knew I'd have an opportunity to show off my singing voice?
Yeah, no, Rebirth, that is the thing. Also, why is your cat getting angry and scratching you? No.
That's not good. That's not good kitty behavior.
I just want a bear with the personality of my dog.
What size bear are we talking about here?
Kodiak, make it manageable.
Yeah.
I am honored.
Thing is, you already got the Malibu and the Chow.
Have some,
Get a big enough one, that's your bear.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to monkey paw this situation. Sure, we have domesticated and made safe the bear. Unfortunately, the only way we could do that is to make it about twice as big as a polar bear.
And how would you feed that reasonably?
Carefully.
That tea was very delicious.
The way they managed to do it was that it hunts other bears.
No, that would be unbearable.
Yes, no, it hunts other bears as a companion animal to bear hunters.
Look, Professor,
Which would be rather hilarious.
Yeah. Wait,
Terrifying, but hilarious. Sorry?
Oh, reading the comments. Freebear says expensively. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's dogs are like that already.
I think I got.
Okay, before I forget again... abilities on everyone.
So what did you want to domesticate there, Foxy?
I was too flabbergasted listening to the suggestions that were put forth.
Because we're going to monkey's paw the suggestions. Because I said squirrels. Because I thought that would make a reasonable house pet.
They're not. They
Right,
don't really
right.
live as long as you would ever like.
Well, if not
They're
them, then raccoons. Specifically domesticated as... Raccoons domesticated as service animals.
I have taken care of raccoons before. Oh, hell no to raccoons. One, they're musky. Two, they get into everything you know and love. They're notorious thieves.
Right, so part of the domestication process is getting that out of them. And then, as like therapy animals, they help people with retrieval disabilities.
Saying is people try raccoons all of the time.
still
They're
have
one of the
much
most
to learn.
popular wild animal pets.
How lovely.
Mhm.
Rest yet?
I'd say deer.
Deer? Yeah, I can see that.
Pretty close.
Oh dear.
Already pretty close to domesticating a lot of different kinds of deer.
All right.
And such, but
Alright, Rale, you've got a monkey's paw. How do you screw over deer?
I mean, that's already
as
being done
domestication?
with all the disease problems that deer have.
yeah, I'd just say make that variety more susceptible to chronic wasting, and that's about it. That's all you would have to do. You know what chronic wasting is, right?
Not off the top of my head, but I think I get it.
Alright, chronic wasting disease is a prion disorder for white-tailed deer.
Mhm.
You know what a prion is?
Yep. It's a non-living organism. It's a non-living disease made of protein chains that fuck with things.
Yeah.
I get the gist of
Popular
it.
is rabies.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Didn't know rabies was. I thought that was a virus, but alright.
So chronic wasting is a prion-like disease that affects white-tailed deer, and it spreads through blood bodily contact and inheritance because it acts very similarly to rabies, as in you can catch it and not know for a couple of years that you have it, and then you just die. For deer.
I appreciate your.
That would be
There's
kind of
actually
sucky.
There's a research facility that's just down the street from my work for it.
Alrighty. Don't mind me. I'm just playing with some vampirates.
Oh no.
Oh, well, that's the other thing. Which fictional animal do you want to make real?
Fictional animal that I want.
And why is it the dragon?
No.
It's not the dragon. No, dragons are jerks.
Alright.
Professor.
Then what would you want to bring back?
I have to think on that one for just a heartbeat. Can't remember its name.
Well, I had fun today. Of course. You want to see me again, yes?
Of course.
I'm
I'd love to.
coming in here with my intrusive thoughts and answering the interesting questions.
Meet again.
Maybe phoenixes?
Phoenixes
Oh,
would be
Chocobos is a
interesting.
solid one, Blue. That's a very solid one. Chocobos would be pretty neat. I would
Not
ride
familiar
a
with
chocobo.
them. I think they're from
The
Final
giant,
Fantasy?
yeah, they're the giant birds from Final Fantasy. They're big enough that a knight in full plate can ride them.
Yeah, they're just emus, but bigger and
Friendly.
nicer.
Oh. Actually, fire lizards from the Pern series.
Yes. Is there a problem with that? Look,
Okay.
I know what I'm doing. My claim as a diva won't last forever after all. I must look to the future. As a man, you may not feel so rushed about
How
these
funny
things,
would it be if the Loch
but I
Ness
know my
monster
beauty
were
will
real?
eventually fade.
Nessie just swimming around, having a good time.
Yeah, I am caught between, like, dragons
I
and...
would have guessed. Anyway, I'm not
Phoenixes,
just playing
maybe.
games with these boys. This is for
Yeah.
my future.
Dragons and griffins sound interesting.
Oh god, no, 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 no. Someone has never played Witcher 3. I want nothing to do with griffins being real.
I have not played Witcher 3. What's the deal with griffins?
It's a bird of prey the size of a horse.
Yes.
That means it's a bird of prey who can carry off you. You know how, like, the golden eagle will carry off your dog?
Gotcha. So, carry a shotgun. With buckshot.
What about
More than
the
buckshot.
red? No, I got a good one. What about the red deer from Princess Mononoke?
Mmm.
Or the giant peaceful worm things? Same game or same movie. They be made extinct
Finding
real
someone
quick.
to take care of me? Of course it is.
Which ones are you
could ask for
referring to
anything
for
more.
this?
Anyway, I value your opinion, Professor, but I won't have you interfering with my life plans.
Any large carnivore that can
Unless
fly around
you'd
fast.
like to take care
Yeah,
of me
probably.
into my old age. That'd be
Probably
something,
over
eh? How about
breed
it, Professor?
and then go rabid. Any dominant apex
I
predator
wasn't-
that can breed readily.
You aren't being
and have long
serious,
life.
are you? I was just teasing. Or
No,
did
we'd
you
hunt
really
them like
just
wolves.
consider spending your whole life with me? If you did,
Depends on where you
that
are.
actually makes me.
Wait a minute.
It makes me happy.
Wait a minute.
I have
We
no
do
idea
the
you
dragon,
look at
but
me
it's
that
the
way.
pseudo dragon. You know, the itty bitty mini dragon that's the size of a toy
Fire,
poodle.
that's why I said fire lizards from Pern.
If so, I'm
I
very,
need to have
very
the
sorry.
most special license
I
for
should
one.
be going
No,
anyway.
they emotionally bond with humans. They're actually
They breathe fire.
only if you feed them specific kinds of rock. They breathe fire when they ingest phosphorus.
Do you know how common phosphorus rock is? Oh, it's actually not that common, but it's really easy to get. Okay? Phosphorus is an agricultural product. You can go into any ag-related store like Ace Hardware or whatnot and buy fertilizer.
Yeah,
I want Palicos. Yo, that's a good one.
that is a very good one, yes. Ugh.
Look, Professor, we did great.
They should just keep knocking it out of the park on stable management. I'm gonna have the cleanest goddamn stables in the world.
I won't forget all I've learned.
The battlefield has much to
As long as it makes me stronger.
I get it.
Oh, I've got it now. You wake up as a werewolf. What do?
Go back
You
to
are fully in control of the
try again
werewolf form.
tomorrow. So go back to sleep and try again tomorrow.
Well, you are fully in control of the werewolf form.
Okay.
So, like, whenever you transform, just know that it'll make you extraordinarily hungry, because that is a calorie-intensive task to switch back and forth.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of training because I do feel underleveled. And
Question.
actually, correction, we're going to get into this battle and then we're going to wrap things up because it is actually only 6 minutes until our next stream is coming up. Where is that bloody schedule?
Oh no.
Doot. Oh, how do Freebirth?
Hello, Freebirth.
It's your stream coming up next, right?
It is. That's why I figured I'd hop in and kind of transition over.
Yeah, announce to the people what you're going to be doing.
Well, I'm going to be playing Morrowind, the continued adventures of Jotargo, the soon-to-be Telvanni mage.
Oh boy.
Hey. And I'll just be playing something in the background and bringing up interesting questions like, what if suddenly tomorrow you woke up as a werewolf and had full control of whenever you transformed?
Well, it depends on the intensity of the transformation.
I mean,
Are we
my
talking
girlfriends
about
would be
getting
happy,
slightly
but
furrier, but I can cover it up with a hat?
No, we are talking about, like, the Skyrim level of full-on beastly transformation.
So I want to be able to go lift weights at the gym. That sucks.
Oh, you totally
Do you
could.
even
You
lift,
get weird
bro?
looks.
you just get even stronger.
Dude, actually, in this day and age, man, that's such a nice furry suit.
The only caveat would be, whenever you're changing, either back or forth, you would get extraordinarily hungry, because that is a calorie-intensive task.
Well, yeah.
It's not really a caveat, depending on your budget.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you could do some tricks as a werewolf that could make you get a lot of budget. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a show that had a thing where a guy was a werewolf and he was in the military. In fact, I know it might have been a short.
Dude, can you imagine?
There's a couple movies like that. The what was it called? Military Dogs? No, it was something dogs.
Playsteak is right. Go hunt a deer. Love. Oh yeah, that is Love, Death, and Robots. Thank you, Blue. Right. With that though, I'll go ahead and disconnect the stream. You all have a beautiful time, and I will see you all next week.